I think it might be working now, Rylionn.
Yes, sir.
Testing.
All good.
Web, can you hear us?
All available. We are on board finally. The technical mishaps hopefully have ended by now into this already late evening best of 5 series that we have going on for you tonight. Team Brown, which is Delaware Derby, versus Team Purple, which is UWRU BONK. All right, Newman, where are we at in the draft? How are we looking? And what are you thinking so far? And then while you do that, I'll do predictions.
Sure. Well, we do have these teams. They've already completed the third-party champion select, so we're just moving through the client champ select now. So all of these picks and bans have already been played out. So should be expecting to move through this relatively quickly here. But it is going to be pretty interesting from these compositions here. Of course, if we take a look at the bans, we do see the Nasus was banned away by Team Purple here for game number 2. They don't want to see its Noble on the Nasus again. And they did ban away some options from Ozman as well. So we're going to be seeing, guys, the Kassadin in the mid lane from Ozman this game. And it's going to be going up against the Tristana for Volpez. So another AD mid option for Volpez Damon there on the side of Team BONK. See how he fares in this particular matchup. Once again, should be favored in the early game, but as we saw in game number 1, Rylionn, it just wasn't quite enough to get his team the victory.
No, it was not. And I mean, just overall great adaptation coming in from the side of Team Brown. Early game, it was looking a little bit shaky, but they did not falter. They did not go back at all. They did exactly what they needed to. They farmed up. They got all the right kills to the right people. That huge 1,000 gold shutdown going on over to Nasus kind of, I think, put the beginning of the nails in the coffin overall. Yes, and I don't know what happened here, but I think they may have gotten him. Oh, game crash. Okay. That's unfortunate. I mean, we've had our fair share of technical difficulties, so do not worry. I'm pretty confident that, we can give a little bit of slack here, so that's not anything to worry about whatsoever.
I went ahead and pulled up the third-party champion select here, so we can take a look at that all together here, as we didn't have a chance to go through it as it was happening. So the Misfortune was picked first there, and then the Cog Lulu response. Let's, why don't you talk to us a little bit about that, Rylionn?
I mean, the Cog Lulu provides not a whole lot of mobility, so that it's going to make it pretty difficult. Especially if they get trapped inside that Vygar cage or allowing Kassadin to go ahead and hop onto the back line. But they do have a lot of peel and protection just from Lulu Cog alone. The slows are going to be ridiculous. The armor pen, or the armor shredding in general coming in from Kog'Maw. Lulu has the polymorph, what is it, growth spurt, super growth, something like that. Wild growth, thank you, coming in from Lulu. So a lot of protection coming all the way around, and just knowing the way that Transcend plays, he is a very hard-driven, focused ADC. So giving him the Kog'Maw Lulu, that is going to be a very, very scary matchup. But as we saw last time, coming in from Daddy Pacific and from Hammered, Vygar, that was a great support last time. I mean, he was able to get a lot of double stuns off on the Vygar cage. That was amazing. This time they don't have the Vayne Condemn to go ahead and push them into the tower, or into the cage, but Misfortune able to trap them in there at least and go ahead and do a lot of damage, burst damage from her as well.
Definitely. Still some strong combo potential there with the cage setting up for bullet times. Could be pretty strong there from the Misfortune Veigar lane, and you could even potentially play it as a poke lane. I don't know if that's how they're going to want to do it, but you could run Comet on both MF and Veigar and just kind of play that lane for poke. I'm not sure if that's really how you want to play it into Cog Lulu. Lulu does have that shielding. Probably going to be running the Guardian as well to try and mitigate some of that poke damage, but should be an interesting matchup down there for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And remind me, what is your main role again in this game? What do you? I know you can probably play any role pretty comfortably, but what is your number one drive when you go to play this game?
I'm a jungler.
Jungle. Okay, so jungle matchup in general, because this is my least favorite role to do, so it's the least that I know about. I mean, the change that they made to the Amumu, do you think he's as good as a jungler or better of a jungler than he was last time. I know having 2 bandage charges obviously is going to help out a lot
Oh yeah.
more, but did they recently nerf him because of that? Like, wasn't that also momentarily like, is he still a super tier like S tier jungle,
Did
or
they
has he
nerf
moved down
him?
slightly?
I actually don't remember. They might have nerfed him the patch before this one. I'm not quite sure, but I think he is definitely in a pretty good place right now.
Okay,
He has I mean, he works well in press R comps, right? Because his ultimate ability is so powerful. He's an excellent frontliner. He can get pretty tanky. He's pretty reliable engaged now that he has 2 charges on that bandage toss. I mean,
absolutely.
and it is a 280 carry comp for Team Bonk this game. So Amumu has the carries that he can set up for, that he can frontline for, and he has a
Very true.
Lulu to help shield him up as well there, if necessary. Um, so I think it could look pretty good for him this game. Going up against the Gragas in that jungle matchup, it is definitely an interesting one. The Gragas is gonna have a little bit more explosiveness, I think. Should have a little bit more in the early game, as long as he does have that flash up. I guess both of these junglers could potentially run Predator. You were talking to me a little bit earlier on, Rylionn, about the possibility of Predator Amumu coming through. So that could also
Yes.
make things interesting.
Yes, I have seen that ran before. Once again, I don't know if that's very popular, but I have seen it run, and it does make for a rather difficult bandage toss to avoid there, when he's running at the speed of light at you there. But I think overall, I do like Bonk's team comp. The Tristana going mid, that's going to be really interesting. I mean, they just have a lot of damage now. So it's not just all reliant upon Kai'Sa to go ahead and carry them. They have the Tristana, they have the Kog'Maw, and now we have options from Lulu, Amumu, and then Alawi is just going to sit there and want to just go ahead and tentacle up as much as possible. So I do like their overall team fighting. But also coming in from Delaware Derby, heavy CC coming in from the Vigar cage, from the Gragas ultimate as well. He's able to get, if they're able to go ahead and combo the cage into the casket, like that's an instant five man stun. Like, great job if they're able to go ahead and do that. Plus
Mm-hmm.
mixing it up with bullet time, like they really have to be careful about where their positioning is, especially around the jungle. Later game, obviously after level 6, once everyone has their ultimates. Um, One thing I am not too sure who actually favors this one. Urgot and Alawi, and the 1v1 head up. I initially want to go with Alawi because of the tentacles and she's just able to do it. But then every single time just think Urgot just isn't able to do as much as he can, he surprises me every single time.
More of
So,
a dog person,
like, what
huh?
is your opinion in the matchup just in top lane alone? Like, nobody else.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure.
You
Top
overstep.
lane is not really my forte. I have no idea who's supposed to win that matchup. I mean, Alawi generally is better into melee opponents, and Urgot is not exactly long range. He is still technically ranged, so
Right.
could be able to, harass the Alawi a little bit in lane there fairly comfortably. Urgot is going to have to wait a little while before he really spikes. I don't think Urgot really starts spiking until level like 9, 10, 11, around there. Is when Urgot will start to come online. And Malawi should be pretty strong at that point as well. So, not really too sure. But in that last game, we did see Manny getting ahead early there on the Mundo, even finding that nice first blood for himself in that outnumbered play up there in the top lane. But it's Noble had the last laugh in the end there on the Nasus. So, we'll have to see. Maybe we'll just see a similar story in the second game, just on different champions.
It's funny because he's a dog and he bonked the other team, so he Ubu bonked to death.
Bonked. Yeah.
He bonked was bonked several times over. I mean, yeah, after that, once again, he just was like 3 levels up at one point over Manny on Mundo, and there was just nothing that could be done at that point. He was 2v1ing, he was 3v1ing, still taking out at least one person. Almost. I mean, I know there was that 5v1 situation where he almost took out 3 of them. By the time the rest of the team actually got there, they all escaped with their lives, barely, but they did. And yeah, just from that point forward, I mean, I couldn't see what he ended with in stacks, but the last time we did see, he was at like 487, so he just obviously only went up from there. And not a good time to have a nice, full, healthy Gnosis. So Kassadin, I think, is going to have a little bit of a rough time up into the Tristana mid lane. Early game, definitely. I would say Gragas is probably going to have to spend a lot of his time there because Tristana's just one of those natural pushers in general, just through her passive. So it's going to be kind of difficult. And, can she jump over his dash? I know she can't jump over a Nunu snowball. I've tried it. It doesn't work. I don't know if she can jump over
Kassadin Rift Walk. Is that the question?
No, Gragas is body slam. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, if he collides with her, even if she's midair, she'll still get knocked out.
Okay. That's what I thought as well, because I know she could jump over the terrain. I've tried snowballs. I've tried other things. That's one of those questions like, does Poppy W stop a Nocturne ulti? And it's like, nope, it does not. We witnessed that once. And then someone asked if it stopped a Hecarim ulti, and it was like, I don't know. I'm going to go with probably not on that one, because it's unstoppable.
Hecarim goes unstoppable. Yeah, Hecarim will not be stopped by that. But the E would be blocked.
Yes.
Charge there for sure.
Yes, the same thing with the Vi Q, but not her ultimate, I believe. Like she can definitely still go through that. So, just the many wonders of League of Legends, and the different things that they add here. But overall, prediction-wise, game number 2. Looking at the comp, how you feeling it so far for each team?
Well, it's an interesting one. I do feel like these comps are more evenly matched than what we saw in that last game. There is good scaling on both sides. Although I will say, once again, the side of Team BONK, they've drafted all AD for the second game in a row. 2 games in a row now. They've had very poor damage profiles for their composition. So, we'll see if they're able to work around it. The composition of the Delaware Derby for game number 2 is significantly less tankier than what they had in that last game, especially if Rich and Smart decides to go for some kind of AP options on the Gragas. If he wants to mix in a little bit of damage in there, then he will not be as tanky.
They kind of have a lot of AP already, I would say. So I would lean more towards probably Gragas going tank than an AP jungle, just because they have Kassadin, they have Vigar. So I would assume they kind of need that tank to go with the Urgot as well, because he is damage, yes, but he doesn't have like many resistances if you like take a step back and look at it. But I don't know. I mean, would you prefer in your circumstance, like in this setup, like looking at the team that you have, because that's a lot of AP. If they do go AP Gragas, would you prefer him to be on the tank role or the AP like damage side?
Well, I think you have a good point, Rylionn. They already have lots of AP with the Kassadin and the Veigar, so probably tank Gragas would be a better move, especially considering the all AD comp of your opponents. You just go straight armor, and then you're feeling very, very comfortable. So probably the better play there.
Yeah, true. Well, we'll see how they built their runes and masteries. We won't know for just a couple more minutes here, but I mean, obviously, I'm rooting for purple all the way. But I just think once again, if they're able to effectively capitalize, with the Tristana, because I know Volps is definitely one of those hard carries that are able to do the most with what they've got. And Laser on Amumu though, I've seen some really disgusting plays on that. And Alawi's just one of those champions where it's just like, oh, she's about to die, and then all her health comes back after just one W. And you're just like, oh. So we'll see, but Hammered is really good at positioning, really good at making plays. Daddy's doing a really good job of being able to support, especially on the Vigar. So really, I don't think I have like an overall 100% preference. I'm going to go with like 51-49 purple on this one.
Alrighty. Well, we will see here, Rylionn. He's got 1% of his hopium remaining for this second game here. His Team BONK maybe already on the ropes. But they are still favored here by Rylionn, just barely. But we'll just have to see. We are about to finish out the spectator delay, guys. We're going to go to a very short break while your casters get set up for this second game here. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 right around the corner.
Yes, sir.
Rylionn, are you paused?
Sir.
At 5?
3, 4, 5. Yep.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, welcome back, everybody. We've got game 2 ready to go, underway. We are on to the Rift here. Delaware Derby versus Team BONK. It was the side of the Derby taking game number 1 here. And they have Daddy Pacific piloting the Vagar once again. Everybody else on something different. We wanted to show a little bit of a different look here for game number 2. See how it works out for them. It is going to be a pretty conservative start from both of these squads, it looks like, Rylionn.
It definitely does. I mean, I don't blame them. They kind of missed out last time on being able to get that early kill, and that kind of put Nocturne a little bit behind. But Volps was able, not Volps, Blazer was able to capitalize and effectively get ahead a lot earlier than Udyr could, which is smart. But in the end, that did not matter in game number 1. He still came back running 2,000 miles an hour as Udyr does. So they just scaled eventually. So they instead chose not to risk it this time. I definitely do not blame them playing a little bit more passively in game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there we go.
They have the 2 AD carries this game. They have the Tristana, Kog'Maw to farm up, scale up, get their items, doing lots of damage as the game progresses. It's going to be a bottom side start once again for both of these junglers. They're going to be catching towards that top side. Maybe we'll see Urgot allow to be pretty volatile here.
I would generally like to see a lot more action. I mean, a lot more action. There was like 50 kills at a 50-minute game last time, so there was definitely a lot of action. But in topside, I expect to see a lot more action though between the Urgot and the Alawi, rather than 2 tanks. I mean, Nastich is kind of like focused on farming, so he's not trying to engage until like a much later point. Bot lane's always going to be a fiesta no matter what, but I think we're going to see a lot more movement in the top side here, definitely. Coming in from Gragas, he tends to like the top side a little bit more. We saw that early gank from last time. Ended up getting first blood on over too many on the Mundo. Yeah. But that seems to be the same way that he's pathing this time, so I would expect to see another gank coming in from Gragas.
Yeah, absolutely. Those 2 beefcakes in last game, they were still played around. As that is a dash in, it's Noble going to get the backflip. And man, he may be in some trouble here. He's eating a lot of knees here. We're going to get a lot of procs off on that passive. Man, he really getting the worst end of that one.
Yeah, he went press the attack Urgot into a Conqueror Alawi. I mean, Alawi, if you plan on doing a lot of like engaging over and over and over, like repeatedly.
They're trying to put around the exhaust, traded back and forth, but it's going to be hammered, flashing away, trying to save that Mothercat, flashing for the follow, trying to get this kill, but he's not going to be able to find it. Lulu just wasting her flash at the end of that play there.
I like the effort. The effort was nice, but it just, unfortunately, just a little bit too quick, though. Those slows really
find each other in the top side river here. Volpez is here for follow-up, jumping in, forces out the flash from Rich and Smart. He's spending his Crab trying to get that HP, but it's not going to save him. First blood going over to Laser Sniped this game. Once again, Laser Sniped in the jungle and making the early moves.
I like that communication and the follow-up from the mid lane. Great job from Volps to make it up to Laser there, to follow up on the Gragas. Also wasting the flash on Gragas as well is really nice.
Ooh, it's Noble opting into a 1v2. He's trying to take out Manny here. He was in a little bit of trouble. He got collapsed on by Laser Snipe. He didn't really have a good way out of that one. And he will get cut down. He knew that Laser Snipe was in that topside river. Was just playing a little bit too far forward in lane there. Very greedy positioning from Noble. Does get punished for it.
I tried to base inside the lane and you get hit with the Kog'Maw Loogie, so yeah, gotta love that. It's gonna delay him just a little bit. Gragas I thought was gonna follow up in the mid lane there, and I thought Volps was maybe gonna try to engage underneath tower, but he decided to back off. The cast it in there. Notice that extra little shield was just gonna put him over the edge. So great job taking your wins, just backing off from there. That's one thing I feel like a lot of people don't do. take their wins and then just leave and then reset and then just go in again. They take the wins and then they overstay a little bit too long, which is, I think, a good adaptation. And, you know, because of the technical delays, I think giving that the time between each game is a good mental reset for each of the teams as well. You know, so they're both able to refocus and then really get down to business here. So I expect it to be a really good game.
Absolutely, Rylionn. You're certainly quite right about the fact that fighting is not always the answer. Lesson as many players down in silver. That is going to be a dragon getting secured by a laser sniped here on the Aluno. Off to a nice strong start here in this one. Opez going in. Let's get the reset on the rocket jump, but not going to be able to chase as Rich and Smart has a blast cone to get himself to safety there. Cat gets blocked in the baby cage once again here, but dodges away from the primordial burst there, or the unstable matter, excuse me, I believe, on the Vagar.
I can double check for you, but yep, dark matter is the W, I believe. Yes.
Gotcha.
All right, but no, overall, I mean, they're just doing another good job. It's gonna be one of those games where, you know, Vigors are gonna sit there, gain stacks over time. He's support, so he's not really overly worried. But
in the mid lane here, Bopez is jumping away, and he has the buzzer shot. Definitely unnecessary use of the ultimate there from Bopez. Needed to get some distance between himself and the Gragas, or he was definitely going to be going down there. And giving over an early kill to the Caston is pretty much the last thing that you want to do.
Oh yeah, has to win after level like what, 16, 15, something like that. It just comes a point where it's like, just like Nas, it's like point of no return, and they cannot allow them to get to that point if they want to secure this win in game number 2 here.
Yeah,
ooh,
absolutely.
I love
Gonna have to keep Moseman under control.
100%.
That is the comment for Misfortune. Misfortune this game. Daddy Pacific going for Guardian on the Vagar. That's, I suppose, a testament to the power of that champion like Vagar wants to run it. You know, it is still good poke just from the Misfortune here. Solo comment.
Those double shots are killer right now for them. I mean, Hammered is doing a fantastic job of just stacking those, poking down the Lulu, poking down the Kog'Maw. So even if you do use the shields, it's really not going to help out a whole lot right now. But we do have some movement coming in from Tristana, and Laser is on this side to go ahead and possibly gank down.
Right there, Rylionn. We've got a potential 4-man play for Team BONK down here in bot lane. But it has been spotted out by a nice ward in the river. Daddy Pacific maybe still in trouble here. Laser Snipe's not going to pull the trigger. Does not want to get locked up in the baby cage underneath the tower there. We got the attempt into the left. That's a flash hit from Moseman. Looking for the big play. Laser Snipe dropping these curtains of stats. Only if it's going to be Lulu straight to the meat grinder. Tristana is quick to follow. Part of Manny going in there with a leap of faith, but faith was not enough. And he will go down as well. 3 quick kills for Team Delaware Derby in the bot lane.
Yeah, they just, it was a good thought by Manny to teleport in. It was just a little bit too late of a reaction in order to go ahead and do so. And
Moseman. Oh, they just sniped. Maybe waiting to go down here. Ripwalk in, gets locked up, but he's not in turret range. And Laser Snipe goes down, and Transcend Virtual will go down as well. Tries to trade one back, but Hammered still had Flash. And Misfortune is going to be just fine to strut away from this one.
Unfortunate. It, like, just when you think that they're able to... Oh, he's going to go back in!
He's not done. Oh, the belly pop! No. Oh, Richard Smart just gets Mustard Cat with the tip there. Gets her with just the tip, and the Lulu goes down for the second time. It's a 6-man play for Team Brown in the bottom lane.
Unfortunate. I know what you were looking for, Mustard, and trust me, Mustard is one of those supports that always ends up doing a lot of damage. Uh-oh, Noble might be caught out here a little bit.
Noble is in a little bit of trouble. Maybe a potential kill back. They can't wait. There is a reset. Lopez jumping forward. And Lowy does go through there. One more tentacle connects, and this Urgot is a goner. Oh, he's forced to dash away. Volpez flashing out of the tower. Gets the kill. Nicely done, Volpez team.
Yep, that shutdown, much needed. You know, going on over to Tristana is going to help her out a little bit against this now 2-0 Cassidy. That's a really good position to be in if you're definitely casting in, and Mosman knows that 100%. So, yeah, here he is in top lane.
Mosman, the Alawi ultimate is back up. Part of Manny is going to get some decent damage down here. The first damage, almost one shot from Mosman. Oh, he never in doubt, I suppose, had enough mana to stack up those rift walks. Part of Manny did not have that available. But, oh, what's this? Laser sniped, almost able to get the kill. Oh, but a couple of tower shots. The Amumu doesn't have any friends. He can't get it done by himself. Cassidy is going to be alive, and Rich and Smart is looking for the punish. Lands the cast, and there's the E into the Q. Rich and Smart just manhandled, laser sniped there, and it's Noble dashing in. Oh, there's the Urgot ultimate, just needs a little bit more damage to get the execute, and there it is! And the chains will pull Tristana back into the belly of that meat shredder there. Lopez goes down once again. 9-3 Delaware Derby, 10 minutes in.
And this has been a non-stop, like, it was 0-2 at one point, and then just kill after kill after kill after kill, now going on over. Oh, Mustard, go walk back into it. Oh my god. The anxiety.
Get out of there, guys, just run away. No, what are you doing? They're gone. Oh, the Kog'Maw is going to get a return kill with the passive here. Transcend was just trying to maximize that passive value. Love to see that dead Kog'Maw gaming through there, but it's still an expanding lead for Delaware here.
Oh my god, just the constant fighting back at, like, it's just, oh no, and here now from Cassidy.
He's getting caught out of the jungle. Oh, this Cassidy, Rylionn, this Cassidy is already completely out of control. This Cassidy is so far off to the races. He's already finished the race. He's starting the next one.
Oh yeah, he is looking pretty strong right now. I cannot argue. 10 stacks on his Darksteel right now. 4-0 and 4.
Hasn't died
really,
yet.
really good position right now
bad.
for Cassidy. Oh, but you know, they were able to pick up the first dragon. Not gonna attempt to start the second one. Don't know why. They definitely have the vision over it. Transcend and Mustard instead making their way down to the bot lane.
And they don't have their jungler, so that would be the reason. Oh,
he jumped into him.
Jumping right in. He does have the reset, but he doesn't have the HP. Oh, I thought he was just there for sure. Just playing right in the face of Mosman is not something you can do anymore. I know you have the matchup, Volpez, but this guy is way too fed. You're down CS. You're just down a lot. Tristana is not going to have control over this lane anymore.
Oh my god.
Laser Snipe does walk out of that Urgot dash, and now we're going back in with the bandage toss. Laser Snipe, you realize that Urgot is level 10, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
But he is going to be okay. Noble didn't want to commit to that 1v2, even though there's chances of it. But he's going to keep it safer. As that is the cage connecting into the bullet time. Kog'Maw does have the flash and the wild growth, and those two things combined will just barely keep him alive. But things are just going bad to worse for Team BONK in every single game.
My god, it's just not stopping right now. Like, literally, we're going from one fight to the next. Yeah, that. 4-2 and 1 Urgot, 4-0 and 4 Cassidy. Like,
the barrel! Oh, the explosive cast forces a flash out from Manny. He's going for the leap of faith now under the tower. They're already gone, Manny. Why are you ulting nothing? You just ulted nothing. And now he's going to get 3-man dove here. Mosman has roamed up to the top lane on the cast and rush bot lane because that turret is out high. But, you know, top lane is also going extremely poorly for Team BONK right now, as the first turret will be cleaned by Hammer here on the Misfortune. Transcend is walking up. He's trying to get this damage down, but he's exhausted now. And he's just going to get shot in the face. And Kog'Maw, passive value, only worth 28 gold this time around. I don't even know if you can really call that value.
Yeah, this is they are running. They took a little bit of a head start, and they are just flying with. This is the definition of snowballing, and this is exactly who you want to be snowballed. You want Cassidy, you want Urgot. Like, Misfortune and Vigar are doing just a fantastic job on bot lane on their own. Haven't been really having to deal with the whole team. I know everyone was down there just a little bit ago, but they've been doing a fantastic job and just Cassidy with the constant roaming and pressure all over the map, and he's still ahead in levels. That's how big he is right now. Like, that's outlandish. That is just absolutely just insane.
Yeah, so Rylionn, your boys, they're struggling here. Game 1, I'm starting to think, watching this gameplay from Team BONK in the second game here, I'm starting to think, Rylionn, that Game 1 maybe was a little bit of a mental breaker. You know, you were up against this okay, Lopez is going in here, the bunker shot, almost gets the solo kill on a Moseman, but he didn't have the stopwatch to get himself out of that very sticky situation. Now Lulu will be sacrificed, and Daddy Pacific with the Flash Vagar ultimate is able to outplay the Tristana. There's going to be 2 more kills going over the Delaware Derby in the mid lane. And I thought that might have been an opening. Volpe thought it might have been one as well. He went for it, he almost had it, but he forgot to check the items. Moseman playing it cool, going into the stasis there, and able to survive that no problem.
Stopwatch diff. Sometimes it is just exactly what you need to make or break a team, or not even a team fight, just a fight in general. And that was definitely the circumstance.
Look at that damage, but Laser Snipe is here, going with the flash bandage toss. There's a decent amount of damage going down onto this Fortune here. Vagar Cage does come out. Hammer now flashing away. He's going to be able to get that last hit onto Laser Snipe. There was a lot of lockdown onto the Misfortune, but there was just no follow-up. Moseman is going in now. He's about to one-shot this Lulu. The Urgile ultimate from across the rift takes Buster's cat out again. Rip Herald charges into that tier 2 tower and just completely obliterates it. Shelly is looking for this tier 3 next. It's 5 members of the Delaware Derby looking to make quick work of this second game. Taking down the inhibitor 16.5 minutes in. They might even look for more.
They might get the dub before the 20-minute mark. I guess they're trying to settle up the average from the last game. They're like, all right, 40 minutes game 1. All right, 15 minutes game number 2.
One Nexus turret down before 17 minutes. Team Purple just looked completely out of it in this one.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but there was just a point of just nowhere. It just happened so fast. It was just like, okay, you know, we're 0-2. Okay, now we're 3-2. Okay, now we're 9-3, and now we're 18-4. Like, and this has happened literally in not even joking, in the 10 minutes, 17 minutes, and we have 22 kills on the map. Like that, they are going to work. Kassadin is just literally all over the place. I'm surprised he hasn't upgraded to the Mad Guys yet, to be honest with you. Maybe he just needs more farm. I don't know, but you know, he would be in a much better position if he did, but the Everfrost, you know, secured the dub for his team. Can't be just thinking about himself. That's when you start to falter a little bit and start giving up the shutdowns.
Okay.
Definitely don't want that.
Yeah, potentially could have cursed himself with the book.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you definitely don't want that. And we all know that's exactly what happened. It's a curse of every mid laner of all time. So, I mean, it's another thing, just this Vigar is also so important, especially to these team fights. Is able to do a great job of just locking them in. That keeps anybody else from engaging, that keeps everybody from disengaging. Like, that is really the make or break, I think, of both of these games so far, is that Vigar ultimate.
Prioritize it quite a bit, for sure. Volpez using the bunker shot there onto the Gragas, who was moving very quickly, but Moseman now on the hunt. He's going in, he's looking for the Lulu, flashing away as Mustard Cat desperately trying to escape the part of Manny. He is trying to fight, and that is not going to go well for him at all, as Mustard Cat will not get away in the end. One more Rip Walk. The Everfrost, actually it was a barrel, I suppose, that it secured the kill there onto the Lulu. But yeah, this has been a full court press. It's been domination across the map for Delaware Derby here in this second game. Like Team Purple, he just never really stood a chance. Just kind of saying hello. But, oh my, this has been an absolute stomp. We're going for a bullet time onto the fountain. That was a little over aggressive from Hammer. He will get punished for that one. Daddy Pacific, maybe a little bit far forward now, taking a lot of damage from the Kog'Maw passive, but look at that beautiful cage into the W, just gets an obscene amount of damage down. Noble now is hinting, I guess. That was interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe he's just like, whatever, just take my gold. Let's, you know. I mean, still at this point, you gotta understand, like, people have come back from way worse positions than this, definitely, and then just giving free gold on over to the other team is not how you solidify a win. Definitely not. But, you know, 20 minutes in, 21-6. They're in a really good position. Dragon is up. I'm sorry. They have Baron that's going to be up in the next 10 seconds anyways. So maybe they're just looking to get maybe the Baron and then do one final push down and, you know, lock down game number 2 and then move on to game number 3 here afterwards. We'll see.
Yeah. We will see. They definitely could have ended there at that 19-minute mark if they wanted to, but just wanting to drag the game out a little bit longer for some reason.
Yeah.
Delaware Derby here.
Yeah, not too sure.
Trying to do some more work on the Team Purple mental, maybe. Yeah, not really too sure. Voltage is in a 1v2, and he's dead now.
Yeah, I know he's trying to farm, but no vision anywhere inside that jungle for you to be that far up, my friend. I'm sorry, like, definitely not. But he's probably like, you know, I have 106 farm. Tristana, or Kessel's 4-0-7 at this point.
Kind of double Everfrost here from the Delaware Derby this game. Pretty obnoxious to play into.
For real, it's just like, even if you do get an engage on the Amumu, it doesn't matter. The double, the Vygar cage, the double Everfrost.
We have Misfortune back in the phase here, alongside Urgot and Gragas there, trying to end the game. Daddy Pacific is just trying to solo kill Mustard Cat. He's like, what's a Nexus? I just want to kill this Lulu over and over again. Fair enough there, Daddy Pacific. That's a flash in. Roseman looking to flashy as he tries to close this one out. Here comes the explosive castable time over the top. That's going to be a couple of kills. It's going to be 3 kills, 4 kills, 5 kills. And a clean ace once again for the Derby. And they are going to have to take out this inhibitor again before the Nexus is available to be exploded. But should be pretty doable here. It's pretty painful to watch the end of this one, Rylionn. It's dragging on for a pretty long time here. It was pretty ugly in the end. But, you know, it is going to be the Delaware Derby going up 2-0 in the series.
Yes, that was quite a commanding victory that they had going into game number 2 there, definitely.
Pretty gruesome for the side of Team Purple.
One quick moment here for me, though.
We can take a look at the damage charts, I suppose. It was actually Misfortune topping those damage charts. Gaston was close. He was only 500 damage behind. But it is Misfortune here that was able to come out on top. Show those damage charts to you guys.
Let's go ahead and pull up those damage charts.
Did end up doing a lot of work on the objectives. And yeah, I mean, Volpez had a couple of moments where it looked like maybe he was going to be able to get something done, but, you know, it really, overall, here, Rylionn, that one was really not close at all.
Yeah, that was a little bit rough though, overall for Team Purple, definitely. And once again, I don't know what had happened. They had a really good start early on, nice and strong, 2-0 lead. They got first blood, and then they only got a couple more kills after that for the remaining parts of the minutes. And then the last few kills that they got were literally just them throwing themselves into the fountain. So you know, it does make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it was just that big play in bottom side, really, that swung the game. I think Gaston got, like, 3 kills down there, 2 or 3 kills, and a couple of assists. And you know, your Kog'Maw died twice in a row, and Misfortune was too strong, and there was just... Delaware Derby was winning every lane, and then the game was just over.
Yeah, that's literally the best breakdown of that game I could have heard. You know, it was like I said, it was a double kill right there in bot lane, and then right as soon as he did that, he was able to 1v1 the Tristana. That advantage that Tristana did get kind of just got thrown out the window after that gank happened. And then I know Manny was trying to match the teleport, you know, down to bot lane, but it was a little bit delayed before the Urgot arrived, and then especially with the Vygar cage, just being able to set up, lock them in, so even though he did show up, he wasn't able to be effective at all for the team at all.
Yeah, definitely this Vhagar pick for Delaware Derby. It seems like they've been prioritizing it relatively highly. 2 games in a row, and it really seems like it's been doing quite a lot of work for him. Daddy specifically.
And I just wanted to just bring to your attention. So it looks like actually Georgia is going to be taking over the analytics part right now. So she will be doing game number 3 with you, and I will actually be subbing in to the game
Oh, no
to
kidding.
play as ADC. Yes. So Georgia will be hopping in here momentarily, and then I'll be playing. So that's nerve-wracking hopping into game number 3. That's
Well, man, you are gonna have your work cut out for you against
it
that bot lane.
It is looking rather difficult to go up against that. I'm not gonna lie. Hammered and Daddy, I've been watching you for 2 games now, so it's gonna be fun. And yes, so Georgia will be uh
Let me get
hopping in here.
a quick interview with you then, Rylionn.
Oh,
While we're
okay.
waiting for Georgia and we're getting the
Oh,
lobby set up for a
sure.
mid series interview.
Sure,
Um,
absolutely.
So you've been casting the last couple of games, obviously. So and as you know, as you just mentioned, you've been able to watch Hammered and Daddy Pacific down there. So have you been able to discern anything? Have you been able to pick up on any weaknesses, perhaps anything that you might think you might be able to exploit in this third game to give Purple a chance to come back in the series here?
I'm gonna be honest. There isn't a whole lot for me to exploit, quote unquote. It's gonna be difficult. I mean, Hammered and Daddy, they are formidable. Not gonna lie. Mosman, if you give him just a little bit of a push, he is going to go ahead and spiral out of control, as you now saw here for the last 2 games. It's Noble, very solid top laner overall as well. It just are we gonna are we going to be able to just provide enough damage? And I'm going to try my very best as the ADC to go ahead and do so. And it's just going to be about focusing is really what it comes down to. But um, I would have to say if we can get, it just really depends on what their matchup is. Though, to be honest with you, the main focus from last game would have been Mosman definitely. The first game it would have been Vayne and then Gnosis. Like immediately, if everyone would have attacked Vayne, that would have put him in a 4v5. That would put him in a little bit better, situation early on. And then, of course, they had the Victor on top of that. So it's difficult. They're a very well-rounded team, so it's very hard to say.
Well, I'm definitely going to be interested to see how the champion select and the game as well, of course, how those play out here. But Rylionn, it's been a rough couple of looks here in a row for Team Purple. Morale
Yes.
has got to be pretty low in there. But as the new player subbing in, we even see these kind of tactics used by professional teams in the competitive space. If they're not doing well in a series, sometimes what you need is just that fresh perspective. You need, somebody who's rested and ready to go to jump in there and try and turn things
Yeah.
around. So, talk to me a little bit about, the morale specifically and what you think you might be able to offer and cheering your teammates up and helping to, boost that mental to try and push for a victory here in game 3.
I mean, we've gotten this far already, so they've done a tremendous job. Like I did the very beginning, and then Transcend went ahead and carried it into the position that we are right now. So they have nothing to be. Even if we lose here in this next game, and we don't move forward, we overall, I think tremendous improvement as a team overall. So they really have nothing to be upset about or anything like that. I don't have anything to be upset over, if we don't end up making it out of the series here. But I think as a team, we did really, really well throughout this entire thing. We've grown a lot as people. Definitely as a captain, Manny. He's definitely a really understanding, awesome captain. Laser, just a phenomenal, just focused mind in general. I love his tactics. Volps is just one of those always solid, steady players. And then me and Mustard Cat in the bot lane. Obviously, she is just best support NA. Obviously, to me, and it's just going to be uh, it's going to be a great time no matter what we do this next game. So I think that as long as we go into it with that mindset, which I'm sure they are, we already won, whether we win or lose.
All right, love the positivity, Rylionn, as always. I really probably shouldn't take any more of your time. I'm sure you need to get in there and talk with your teammates and prepare for this third game. And perfect
Yes,
timing. It looks
sir.
like we have Georgia joining us here on the desk.
Perfect.
Hello,
Well,
Georgia. Welcome to the cast.
enjoy.
And Rylionn, good luck in your game.
I didn't have time to get water. Do you have any water? Apparently, they want us to drink water.
Oh, No, I don't have any water. All I have is beer. Cheers.
There's some water in there, right?
Yeah, it's like 90% water or something. So it's all it's basically water.
Yeah, same thing.
Now, let me
All right.
change our information here. You are not Rylionn. You are Georgia. Get that right here. How are you doing, Georgia? It's been quite a while. I casted with you
Yeah,
a while ago, but what's new? How you been?
I mean, school's just a lot, but
Mm.
other than that, pretty good. How are you?
Can't complain. Can't complain. Been a
Fair
pretty
enough.
entertaining night so far, even if a bit
Yeah,
one-sided.
I watched a lot of the second game. Wasn't able to be here for the first, but
Oh, the
now
first
I'm
game
here
was
to
a little
cast the
bit.
rest. So,
The first game was a little bit more competitive than the second, Georgia. So I'll try and
unfortunately.
I'll fill you in just a second here on what kind of went down there.
All
Um,
right.
yeah, do we have a lobby, Georgia? You know if that has been created yet?
I do not.
You mind helping me out with that?
Maybe I'll create one.
That would be wonderful. If you could help out with that. But yeah, so pretty much how the first game went was the inside of Delaware Derby. They drafted scaling for themselves. They also drafted
Hmm.
scaling. There was
Yeah.
also some scaling in their draft, and then
Whoa,
they went
really?
ahead and they drafted some more scaling actually to go along with
That's
it.
a
So
really diverse comp.
yeah, oh yeah, it was incredible. But for the side of Team Bonk, they went with some early game. They had a Talon, they had a Nocturne, they had a Kaisa, so they had a lot of
Hmm.
long range engage. They had a lot of potential playmaking, and they were able to get themselves a small lead in the early game. And Transcend Virtual on the Kaisa actually was, I believe, like 10-1 at one point. Had a maxed out shutdown and was performing
Oh
quite
wow.
well for the side of Team Purple. But unfortunately, a couple of team fights did not go their way. And the side of Delaware Derby, they were able to pick up a couple of shutdowns and just kind of use all that scaling to, get on their jet plane and fly off into the
Yeah.
sunset and take game one there. And of course, if you saw game two, you know exactly how that went. I don't know if there's really too much more that we can say about that
It
one,
seems like
unfortunately.
both teams really like scaling, and whoever gets that scaling just is able to snowball. And in both cases, it's been Brown for the first two games.
Yeah, yeah. So Georgia, what do you kind of expect here for champion select in this third game? It's looking like we are gonna have same sides. No, no. Actually, it looks like we are swapping it up a little bit. So it's gonna be Team Purple. They're moving over to the blue side here for game three. It must indicate some kind of change in draft, right?
Yeah, I mean, so now that they're switching sides, they do have that. Um, I don't know who was red and who was blue last time. Who has the
Last it
first
was
pick
Delaware
advantage?
Derby was on blue side for
All
games
right,
one
so
and
now
two.
purple will have the first pick advantage, so maybe that'll give them a pick to either steal away or have some priority on.
Yep, red
Um,
right there.
and I don't know, they might stick to their scaling or they might decide to go for some different type of comp.
They could, I guess, maybe do that. But I'm gathering that you think that might be a little bit unlikely. Would that be fair, Georgia, to
Yeah, I mean,
characterize?
after you've lost twice, and now you have Ryan in there, so hopefully he can change up maybe some of their draft as well as their moods, since I imagine it's not the best moods right now.
Yeah, yeah. And he has really big shoes to fill. As I just mentioned a second ago, it was
Yeah.
Transcend Virtual that was really keeping the team in it in that first game. So
Mhm.
Rylionn is gonna have to put on his carry pants and try and find
Yeah.
some big damage here in this one to bring his team back from the brink here. He was very
Hmm.
positive in that little mini interview I had with him a moment ago. He was just saying how he considers his teammates to already be winners just for getting here.
I mean,
And that's
yeah,
that's quite wholesome. They definitely did a lot of
they
work.
performed well
It
in
is an
the regular
accomplishment.
season.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And, just getting to this point in the playoffs is, of course, an accomplishment. But, there can only be one winner in the end. And
Hmm.
Delaware Derby are looking to make sure that it's them.
Yeah, I mean, they're really showing their prowess in the first two games. Well, especially the second game, in my opinion. Really dominating purple, which other than the first game, I think purple's done really good. Like their first game in the league was a little unfortunate, but other than that they've been going up. So I think it's really weird to see Brown being so dominant in these matches, and I'm wondering if it'll continue in the rest of the series, if this is just like a bad day for purple, or if it's gonna not continue and we'll see them unfortunately crash and burn in the face of some of the other teams.
Yeah, very, very interesting, definitely. Uh, do you know, Georgia, if
Mhm.
the winner of this match, who do they go on to play in the next round?
Um, I usually figure everything out week by week.
Fair enough, then. But
So
regardless, there
once
will
we see
be
the winners, I
yep,
think it is either it's a red or green that they go against. So
a stronger team, presumably.
yeah.
Um, as that is generally how playoff brackets are supposed to work. So,
Mhm.
it's definitely going to be Delaware Derby looking to put on a strong performance here, have a strong showing, and have that momentum to carry into next week's game.
Yeah, and let's see if they can even win this third one to win this 3-0, or if the Ryan in here just turns the tables and they get a reverse sweep somehow.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure how long the squads are going to need to get ready here, Georgia. I know, I mean, Rylionn
Hmm.
is just getting in there, so they probably have a little bit of, planning to do
Yeah.
to try and figure out what the move is going to be here for Champ Select. Do you think we should go to a break?
Yeah, I think we could have a small break since I do think they'll might need a bit of time just to get coordinated now that there's a few switches and maybe a mental switch as well. Or I guess they are posting the draft links.
We'll see what they say here. Georgia, if you were in the position of Team Purple here,
Hmm.
what kind of composition do you think they should pull out here for Game 3?
Well, I
We've
think
talked.
they definitely have need something to shut down a Caston. I think they should. I think some strong form of CC might be a bit better because they haven't really had that in the past two games. I would say they had the Amumu, but I think other than that, there wasn't very much. Like they had the Polymorph and the Amumu, and that was like basically the limit of their CC. With the Tristana, the Alawi, and the Kog'Maw, they have too many carries without enough stuff to block the enemy team. So more CC and maybe a few more defenses might be able to help either lock down the Kassadin, lock down the MF. Just they need some type of lockdown, I think.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more of like a wombo combo style of
Yeah,
composition. With
instead of the scaling comps with
right,
the Kog'Maw Lulu.
try and play more for mid game. Win those objective fights. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I could definitely see that being effective. Let's see what they decide to go for. It looks like we are almost ready to get started with Champ Select here, guys. Both teams just finishing up their final preparations. It'll be interesting here for the side of Delaware Derby, of course. They really don't need to do a whole lot different here. They can just kind of
No.
pick Vagar for Daddy Pacific again, most likely, and
Hmm.
everybody else has already shown multiple looks, multiple champions that they can pull out here and do well
Yeah.
with. So a lot of flexibility there in the draft for the side of Delaware Derby, and they can just look towards scaling again, or if they want to try to match team fight. It'll be interesting to see definitely what they decide to go for here as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing so well, so unless there's drastic changes to Purple's comp, they're probably just going to try and stick to what they know best. Like, continue
Yeah.
doing what's working. They don't need to fix it since it seemingly is not broken at all.
Definitely seems to be the case there, Georgia.
And they will lose 2 bans? Do they have another ESUB? Or is it just Ryan?
I believe the first ban was lost due to being late for
Oh.
that first game. They were not quite on time there, so I guess that just kind of carries through for the entirety of the series. And then the sub lost ban for the sub on top of that would make 2 missed bans. So they said they were ready. They're not getting started just yet. What were you saying, Georgia?
They have the Acel and the Ivern are both just fake bans. Draft is
we're
up.
just trolling in the client chat right now.
Yeah. But we'll have to see what they ban for their 3rd ban, since they only do get 1 ban, and there are a lot of threats.
Yeah, no kidding. Definitely.
Looks like it'll be an MF ban for their ban.
You think so? Your money is on the MF ban?
The draft is up.
Oh, are they drafting?
Yeah. So I know for sure. Actually, no, I'm just betting all my money on it.
It's not showing up for me for some reason. Do I?
I think they made a second one.
Oh, there's another link. Okay.
Yeah.
They did the old bait and switch on me.
Purple first picks Caitlyn, so I assume that will be for Rylionn.
Okay, there we go. All right, we're in there. It is Caitlyn, and the misfortune, as you say, was the ban, and that was, of course, the champion Hammered was piloting last game. Had a pretty strong.
Did the most damage.
He did have the most damage. Yeah, it was close, but he did. He did have the most. So banning that one away.
Karthus and Yorick.
Very interesting. I think Yorick has been riding the bench so far this series. I think that actually was the ban that was lost here by Team Purple for the substitution, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like Jax is the potential answer here for Manny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know that that top lane matchup, Georgia? Jax?
No idea.
Well, I mean, Jax, they both scale. They're both strong.
They both do have a lot of scale. And yeah, a lot of side lane potential, so maybe we'll see 2 hull breakers.
Maybe.
Or
could be interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
So, the battle between the ships up there in top lane trying to break each other's holes.
Yep, battle between the bonks.
Oh, true. You got a couple of big old bonk sticks up there. That should favor the Jax then. Jax has to be favored in the match.
He has a lamppost. True.
Yeah.
Looks like the support matchup will be Veigar into Soraka. So continuing with that Veigar pick.
No surprises there.
Yeah.
Leave it open. Daddy Pacific is gonna pick it right in that first round there every single time. The Karthus
and Soraka is strong. Karthus is interesting. Because most of the other, I mean, it's a really big scaling, and especially if they don't pick any tanks for the rest of it, it could be like very scary for every team fight just to have that Karthus ult looming on top.
The Soraka ultimate kind of counters it, right?
That is true. You can like heal and then Karthus ult.
Right, because the Soraka ultimate has such a much shorter cast time. So, you know, Karthus can ult, and then Soraka, as long as her ult is not on cooldown, should always have the ability to ult reactively.
Counter ult, yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully that will provide enough healing to prevent any low HP teammates from going down. But we're moving through the second phase of bans here. It's Graves and Lee Sin taking off.
They really don't like those junglers.
Yeah, I mean, it was either junglers or mid laners, and I mean, they have Moseman, so
they're very confident in their mid lane. And we do see a Castum ban, maybe? We saw the Victor ban, so they really want to prevent a lot of the late game scaling, although with the first 3 champs, they have a lot.
They had to ban out the Anivia. There's just too many champs for Moseman.
There are too many.
Kassadin's still available. Will he go for it? It would be blind. Volpes has not picked his own champion yet, but the Tristana should have been a counter matchup, and it failed miserably in that second game.
They could pick the ADC here and then pick the mid lane last, since there is no more
Probably
bans.
better, yeah.
Unless Wolves
But
wants
nope.
to play Kassadin.
We're just locking in the Zed
Zed.
here. Yeah, very interesting. They did need more AD. I think an AD mid laner is actually very good here. They already had the Karthus and the Veigar. Karthus coming through most likely from the jungle there, although it could be going bot lane, Georgia. That's something we haven't brought up yet. That is actually a possibility.
Karthus bot, yeah. And then the Zed jungle, I don't know. There's too much.
There's lots of flexes actually still alive for Delaware Derby here.
Yeah. Diana, I would like to assume is in the jungle.
Although no tank for Team BONK.
No, there is still no tank, and there is now an assassin, a Veigar ult, and a Karthus ult, waiting all of those weaker champions. Diana has somewhat bruised you, but...
Yone. Alright, so it is going to be Diana into the jungle, Yone in the mid lane. So, no
Yone
tank.
versus Zed?
It's a lot of...
Maybe.
Bruisers, a lot of skirmishers here picked by Team Purple. Then they have the Caitlyn, you know, has a little bit of long-range follow-up with the ultimate there. Let's see what this last pick of the draft is going to be in this third match point. Delaware Derby, if they win this one, then they just take the series outright, 3-0.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Echo, was left open all the way through. The draft drops down to the last pick. Gets locked away here. We still, Georgia, are not really sure where all these champions are going. It is looking like the Karthus bot is actually pretty likely, though.
Yeah, it's... Karthus bot with the Veigar could be pretty lethal, because once you get trapped in that cage, the Karthus can do a lot of damage. It's gonna be like the Veigar and the Karthus. If you ever get stunned, then you're just dead.
Oh, man.
And they do have a lot of AP though, but Yorick and Zed are also a good like AD battle for it. And it's not like a BONK has enough tanks to really build resistances, so they're just gonna have to rely on their shields with the Yone, the Diana, and the Soraka healing.
Rylionn subbing in here. Caitlyn Soraka is, you know, a fairly strong lane, can be pretty good, should be stronger early than something like a Karthus Veigar. But Hammered and Daddy Pacific have just been playing so well. I'm a bit worried. Rylionn has just volunteered to stand up in front of the
I mean, they do have the range. Veigar is like one of his big limitations is that cage doesn't really have a big range, and most of his abilities are kind of hard to hit from a further range, and Caitlyn does have that range advantage out of any other ADC.
Definitely, that is what Rylionn is going to be looking to leverage to get an advantage there. It's a fine line to walk, though. You have to play that range very, very carefully. If you let Veigar get too close, if you let him place that cage around you and set up for all of that Karthus damage, could just be lights out.
Yeah, if they get too close, it's definitely scary, but if they're able to keep that distance, they can do quite a bit of damage. They just have to hope that the Zed, Echo, and Karthus aren't able to kill the backline too fast.
It's a pretty snowball-y composition on both sides. You know, if Yone, Diana get ahead, then they can also completely run over a game. Which, do you favor one of these compositions? Do you like one of them better?
I don't know. Both of them are like really interesting, I would like to say. Like, neither of them are really like, I don't know, it's almost like a solo queue type of comp. Like, none of them really have like the combo that you'd expect. I mean, Diana Yone ult, if you call that much of a combo, but not a lot of it has like synergy with each other. It's just a lot of like thrown together champs that might work in a good way. So I don't know, I can't really say that I favor one or the other until I see who gets that first blood, who wins the early team fight.
Yeah, probably will decide a lot here. You know,
just like in the last game.
Yeah, definitely. You know, especially if Delaware Derby get out to another early lead. You have to imagine that they're going to be able to
not a problem
once again here. Yeah, should be interesting.
End of the line.
We haven't talked too much much about the jungle matchup yet, mostly because we can't really be certain if it's going to be either Zed or Echo in the jungle.
Yeah,
But,
it could really be either.
Yeah.
And you know, I look at that and I'm like, oh, Karthus is jungle, and then it's like, no, Karthus is definitely bot. Then Zed or Echo, they could go either way. So, yeah, those assassins in the jungle, though.
So we do see, assuming that we're not going to see any funny business from the Delaware Derby here, it looks like Richard Smart has locked away the Echo. So he appears to be the Echo player, and that is who will be going up against Diana in the jungle, which means we're going to have AP jungle, AP mid, which lines up very nicely, very symmetrically, which is kind of nice, I suppose. But what do you think about this this jungle mid matchups? These jungle mid matchups, as we know where these champions are going.
I think they're both very volatile. Like one kill on the Echo, one kill on the Zed, a few kills on the Yone, a few kills on the Diana. That's like could definitely change the game because all of these champs have carry potential, and they're really neither side have enough CC to really lock any of them down. Like you have the Vigar cage, you have the Echo stun. I would put that like never lands.
Yorick has a cage too.
Yorick does have a cage. That's gonna be the winner of the game. The Yorick cage.
Yeah, the Yorick cage is gonna get them the win.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the CC they need.
Bold prediction coming through from Georgia here. Maybe we should make that prediction in chat too. Does Yorick cage get Delaware Derby the win? I don't know. Vote now. Yeah, one thing that I would like to point out here, actually, the side of Team Purple have Diana, which means this game 3, is by far the most magic damage that they've had so far in the entire series. So that is a bit exciting. They are against Yorick, who is, really the only person who's going to get even remotely tanky on the side of Delaware Derby. So it is definitely less important to this game, which is a bit of a bummer, but still like to see those small improvements.
Yeah, any small improvements would definitely be welcome. We don't want it to be as much as a crush as last game, and I hope Ryan was able to reset the mental somewhat. But we will have to see if there are any type of tilt plays during this.
Yeah, would you like to place a bet? We already know that the Yorick cage is going to be the difference maker ultimately in the outcome of the game. But would you like to place a bet here, Georgia, for first blood as well? First blood?
I mean, I think Rylionn and Mustard Cat should have a really early lane advantage and should be able to, if they're able to punish the Karthus and the Vigar, Hammered and Daddy Pacific very heavily if they do make any missteps. So if they're able to take advantage of it, I do think first blood should go to Rylionn.
Okay. Who is he going to kill, Karthus or Vigar?
Why do they have to be so specific?
That's how it works. You want the money, you gotta take the risks.
Yeah.
The glory.
Alright, okay. Vigar, because I think last time Daddy Pacific tried to step up a bit too much when trying to place those cages. So I think if they're able to punish a little bit of that step up, then they can get that first blood onto the Caitlyn after killing the Vigar.
Alright, I like it. I like it a lot. Makes sense. I like your reasoning there. Vigar has to walk forward to try and get that cage down. Could potentially put himself in a dangerous position. So we'll have to see.
Alright, your turn.
Come through. Oh, you want me to...
Which
right.
top laner is gonna get the first solo kill on the enemy top laner?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Manny, actually.
Yeah?
Manny has had the advantage in the first 5 minutes. It's really after we get past 5 minutes when Manny starts getting owned. So I think he's going to get the first blood, and then it's just going to kind of fall apart after that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see whether our predictions turn out to be right or not.
We don't actually have anything on the line here, I suppose. Just
if there's there's something on the
glory.
line, I don't know what I'd do. It's so like unpredictable in some of these games. Alright, well, Echo has Trick or Treat Echo, so I think it is already determined to be a skin diff, and unfortunately, Brown will win due to being more festive.
Yeah, that's pretty unplayable for Team Purple. Unlucky. Should have chosen a champion with a Halloween skin.
Yep,
Hecarim would have been good.
unfortunate.
You know, headless Hecarim.
Uh-huh.
I got that skin recently.
Did you?
Looking
I got
forward to
the new Yumi skin. I love it.
Oh, is that a Halloween skin? I don't pay attention to Yumi skins.
Yeah, she got a Halloween skin. I also got Prestige Bewitching Morgana, which is a beautiful skin. It's so pretty.
Very cool.
I love it. Speaking of Prestige, they do have the Battle Queen Diana Prestige Edition.
They
So-
do, but it's not Halloween
And-
themed.
They have Dawnbringer Synergy. Okay, they brought it back. They brought it back.
Oh, the 2 Dawnbringer skins. Okay, so that is actually more, but there's Pentakill synergy on the other side to match
Oh,
the
that's
Dawnbringer
true.
synergy.
And the Pentacle's more Halloween themed.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But Moseman does not have any skin. He's the only player in the game who is
Skinless,
skinless.
yeah.
And no
I
mastery
don't know.
either on this set.
I guess we'll see. Have to see if this works out for him, because Volps does have a bit of mastery on Yone, so
Just a bit.
I guess in the battle of experience, he's got a bit on him.
Okay, let's pause at 5. Make sure we're synced up.
Okay. Paused.
On 3, okay?
Alright.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7,
7,
8.
8, 9. Looks good.
Let's see
So-
here. It was a pretty. They've been pretty conservative openers from both squads
Yeah.
so far in the series. It's pretty much just 5 points.
I mean, as I've said, they don't have that much CC on either side, which really is the make or break for
Yeah.
an invade, I would say. And the Orcs are having a little bit of a late start, so I can assume we will not see any invades.
Most likely not starting Cage on the Yorick, so
What?
not gonna look for that at level 1.
But that was supposed to be the game-turning invade. It looks
I mean,
like
we saw it,
Diana did get a ward.
Okay, yeah, Diana did get a nice deep ward on the Raptors there. Good call out there, Georgia. That there is a ward for the side of Delaware Derby in the river there, but
Yeah.
it's not going to really spot out too much.
Unfortunately for them. It'll only spot out if they did happen to invade, and maybe if they go to lane that way, which is probably unlikely.
Probably unlikely, yeah. Don't really need to go that way. So it is going to be, once again, a bottom side start for both of these strugglers. Going to be passing towards that top side. And
Yeah.
maybe looking to influence that Jax Yorick matchup there. Fleet footwork on the Yorick is pretty interesting. That is a bit surprising to me.
Yeah.
Expected for him to match Jax's Conqueror with a Conqueror of his own will probably mean that Jax is going to have the edge if we
On
do
a lot
see
of the early
late
trades.
game 1v1s.
And late game, yeah. Because the fleet footwork does give a bit of healing, but not as much as Conqueror.
Yeah, Fleet footwork I think should be stronger early. That is another Cage. Yeah, Daddy specific. That's the Vagar support starting Cage. Able to get a
Yeah.
little bit of damage down on the Mustard Cat there.
And we do see the Echo is going bot now.
Ooh, you just did blue into Gromp into a potential bot gank here.
But they are kind of far backed up.
Yeah, he's looking for an angle, but he's waiting for the Cage cooldown from Daddy Pacific. There's the stun onto Rylionn, and here comes the Echo, but the stun is pretty low duration this early on.
Yeah.
Rylionn was not locked up for very long there, but that's a lot of damage down onto Mustard Cat. Cardinus
Yep.
hammer bringing a lot of those Skittles. Does end up
Running
making
away
the
for a
game
bit.
worthwhile. Any,
Yeah, even the Dark Harvest.
Oh, that's another Vagar Cage. Daddy Pacific is just playing with them. Look at this, Rylionn. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't have the range. Caitlyn is getting skittled. Oh, there's the sweets. They're trick-or-treating down there in bot lane as Vulpes maybe in some trouble, forced to flash away from
Yeah,
that.
these echo ganks are very lethal for
Yeah.
the side of purple.
Definitely getting some good value.
Yeah.
The flash in, the ignite, Moseman going for the kill, and he will have it. Moseman picking up right where he lost in game 2 there. Lasersight was going for some invading. Is going to go for the QE in, takes a tower shot, forced to flash away. Laser snipe.
Flash out.
Burning that summoner spell for free. A little bit down there.
Just went a little too far in there and needed to flash out.
Definitely not wanting to give over another kill to either the Zed or the Echo there.
No.
You're in tower range, you just gotta get as far away as quickly as possible. And he is going to be able to successfully finish this invade. Echo still only 2 camps completed. He has been able to take over to level 3 by soaking up some of that mid lane experience. But Diana with a very strong early lead in the jungle.
And I mean, he has ganked, but I guess I would call both the mid gank and the bot gank partially successful. But I don't think successful enough to be giving up as much farm as he is with that invade from the Diana.
Yeah, absolutely. Mighty continuing to get pressured here, but he does have his Diana here. Laser sniped is level 3 still. York does have 4. And he is going to be able to walk away underneath the tower here. Has the fleet footwork to give himself that little bit of healing and boost speed.
A really good trade from Vulpes onto Moseman.
Yeah, definitely getting a lot of damage down there.
That's like the Yone.
Yeah. Classic Yone thing happening there. Looks like the junglers are going to be trading off Scuttle Crabs. Both crabs lived for quite a while, actually.
Yeah.
So they are going to get taken out.
Trying to kill Noble.
Nice symmetry coming here. Noble once again finding himself in a 1v2. Maybe in some trouble here, trying to escape underneath the tower. Maybe looking for a little bit more. He's jumping in, gets the auto reset, and does pick up the kill, but trades himself for it. Trade of flashes there as well. So pretty even there on the top side. Wave is pushing into the Jax there. Both top laners do have teleport as well. I think this is actually an advantage for Noble because he is not going to have to burn the summoner spell. And you can see Manny does have to burn the teleport to get up there and catch that wave. Echo now moving.
So yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Definitely an advantage for Noble despite it being a 1-for-1. Just because the wave state.
Exactly right there, Georgia. We do see Echo and Zed. They're both moving down towards the bottom side now. Looks like they're not.
Want to get Prio for drag?
Yeah, absolutely. Dragon has been alive for about a minute here. Nobody making a move towards it.
Oh.
Yes. That's a nice dodge away from Moseman. He's getting ignited now. Maybe in some trouble. Moseman doesn't have the summoners, and he is going to burn down. Kill going back over to Voltes. Ties up that mid lane 1-to-1.
See the maiden.
Volpe is getting a little bit ahead. I think it's really good for them. Well, not ahead, but at least it's matching Moseman since it's been pretty one-sided.
He's up 14 CS now, 15 CS.
Yeah.
That's meaningful.
Definitely. The bot lane, not as much CS as you would like them to be, considering they're scaling opponents.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Rylionn is holding his own down there, more or less. But there was a lot of pressure put down there early on. Rich and Smart with that extremely early game.
Yeah.
That BZ ultimate going in. The death mark is down, and there is the pop. Volpes just explodes there. Gives it right back over to Moseman.
It's just so back and forth.
Yeah. The man is moseying back into the lead there in mid lane. Feeling pretty good.
But Electrocute getting the last hit.
Oh, there's a cage. Nope.
It didn't do anything. I guess it doesn't really matter to the Jax.
Yeah. Well, we'll be patient. We're waiting for it. I'm sure it'll happen later. Nice little shuriken over the wall there. Damage down onto Laser. He has to be a little bit careful here, though. Yone is capable of some extreme silliness. baiting right now.
Yes.
We're baiting for a potential flank or a gank from Rich and Smart.
But both are baiting, it looks like, because Diana is also hovering.
Yeah, quite right there, Georgia. Diana also in the area. Position on the bot side, River held by the side of Team BONK for now.
Continues to be a mid and jungler.
Yeah, Diana does have the level 6 to Echo's level 5. So Rich and Smart not having that Chrono Break available just yet. But he does have his bot lane rotating up here. Volpez trying to engage onto the Zed, but he's gonna pop back right to his body and find himself in the waiting arms of Karthus. So he's just like now going for the moonfall, trying to get a little bit of damage down, but it's not gonna be enough. And now there's a slow onto Yone hammered, trying to plant these Skittles. Yone will just be able to get out of range there.
Yeah.
Mid lane control taken by the side of Delaware Derby. And it looks like Team
Everyone got so low, but they didn't want to give up any of that gold early on like they did last game. No triple kills for any Cassidans.
Yeah. Or Zeds.
Or Zeds. So yeah, not as crazy of a game this game. Trying to keep it as even.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a slower start here. As Manny is getting flanked by the Yorick. He does have the stun. And will be able to comfortably walk out of that one. Still nobody looking at that dragon.
Wow.
Oh, Danny Pacific getting silenced. Oh, Caitlyn at the range. Rylionn flashing forward. The last auto attack. Rylionn gets the kill. He's trying to get away. Now we have the teleport coming down. Noble wants to do something about this. Now Rich Smart going in now. Has the Chrono Break. Gets the kill onto Laser Snipe. Still has that R available. Volpez Damon trying to turn this one around, but he's outmatched a little bit here. Drops the Ignite, goes for the Yone ultimate. Gets the kill onto the enemy jungler. Both junglers are down now, and Soraka's rotated up. Mustard Cat saves Yone's life. They take out the Maiden as well, and it's a team fight win for Team Purple. The bot side River here. They come out on top there, 2-0.
Starting with the Ryan engage onto him.
And look at this. He's going for the Zed ultimate, the death mark onto the Soraka, plus flashing away as Mustard Cat staying alive. Veigar dropping the cage will prevent the chase coming through from Volpez. The damage, the ignite. Volpez burns down. Moseman 3-1 now on the Zed. And it's going to be a kill going back 5-5 now in this game 3. Teams are all tied up in kills, but it is still a 1K gold advantage for Team BONK.
That is true. They do have a bit of a CS lead, especially in the top lane and the mid lane or the jungle as well. The top side is just doing really good CS-wise, which I think is all contributing to that 1K gold lead, because Noble is sacrificing a lot of CS, it seems, for these teleports, where Manny is just teleporting to lane and...
Mustard Cat just gets obliterated by the primary burst there from Veigar.
It's a good look by Moseman in order to sneak behind.
Yeah, a lot. These Delaware Derby members are just moving around the map so well. They seem to be well coordinated as a team. Really just pressuring all lanes. We do see Laser sniped here. We know that Zed is on the bottom side of the map, so Laser Snipe able to secure that Rift Herald for himself.
Yeah.
Nice to see. He's looking at a potential play onto the Yorick now. See how his group was able to handle this one. As Volpez Damon in a lot of trouble in mid lane, getting dropped on the death mark now. He's on a little bit of the wrong side of the rift. Moseman almost going down there, and Volpez Damon.
So close.
Almost able to get a couple of kills for himself there, but does end up going down. It's Noble. Uses the flash and also dies up there on that top side. So big blunder for the Yorick. Oh, the ace in the hole! Rylionn is coming up huge right now, Georgia.
He is 2-0 on the Caitlyn. The range is definitely helping him out. First with that flash kill on the Veigar, but now it looks like he might be in a little trouble.
Dragon has been started up by Richard Smart. Rift Herald did go over to Laser Snipe, so he wants to get this neutral on the other side of the map here. Looks like they are going to be able to secure it. So a trade of those early game neutrals, but look at this. In exchange for that first Ocean Dragon, Laser Snipe drop Herald in topside, and they're able to take first tower.
Yeah, and that is quite a bit of gold into the pocket of Manny and Laser Snipe. So they also Herald got a second charge as well, so they're doing good.
Lots of value there. Volpez Damon smashing back in, looking for a little bit of return damage on Mosman here. Mosman's Death Mark's gonna be coming off cooldown pretty soon, but the Yone ultimate is up now! Ooh, the flash away. Mosman staying alive here, but that was a little bit of a close one.
It definitely was. The flash being forced out.
That was the Soraka ultimate getting used there as well. Mustard Cat respecting the threat from Mosman there in the mid lane.
You can.
Flash is coming up soon for Volte's Daemon, and Mosman just used his. So the Zed has ultimate, but the Yone has Flash.
And again, both junglers just sitting around mid-side.
Yeah. This lane could explode into bloodshed at any time. Revealing himself there.
Will soon fall.
Helping his mid laner get the push. Looks like we're going for some resets. We're not. As Veigar rotating up, and Diana will run straight into them. Laser snipe, hoping to outplay this one, gets the blue ball on it too. Full base, here for the follow-up, flashing in, gets the kill, gets the last hit onto Hammered. Karthus trying to get some value out of the passive here. Is he going to go for the ultimate? No, he doesn't think he's going to be able to get a kill. Just going to hold on to it. Hammer just kind of going down for 3 there in the river. Noble trying to get some work done on this top lane tier 1, but Manny with the teleport advantage able to get back up there instead.
Doesn't want that turret being taken, as it looks like Rylionn is getting some damage on that bot turret as well. So I think they do have quite a bit more structure damage and pressure on the map.
Yeah, definitely. Team BONK playing the map better right now. No doubt about it. You definitely don't want to give that Yorick any time alone with those turrets. Once you give him a little bit, you know he's going to take a lot.
So the Jax is doing a very good job making sure that Noble cannot get much done.
Yeah, he is decisively ahead right now in this top lane. And we got Echo here for the counter attack. And Manny just stepped a little bit too far forward. You cursed him, Georgia.
Yeah. I know, I cursed him. Why does I say anything?
It was a shutdown too. Shutdown going over to Echo there. Richard Smart is going to be feeling pretty good with that money going into his pocket. Already has the rocket belt there.
There's so much.
Yeah, going into that Smart movement, trying to find the damage. Richard Smart going back to the chrono break, dashing right back in though. Maybe it's some trouble now. The Quicksilver Beastmaker connects with Rylionn forced to flash away from Hammer here on the card. The side taking a lot of damage. He's burning down with a wish. The healing from Soraka is doing so much work, but she will go down in the end. Her and Diana both fall. The card, this ultimate. Yeah, that does come down. Karthus finally dissipating there. Rylionn running away, trying to escape, but Echo and Zed are on the hunt. And just this poor little Caitlyn has nowhere to go. The Shuriken from over the wall. Mosman getting the last hit, picks up his 5th.
Too many assassins. The assassin meta.
And that is Gold getting tied up here. Delaware and Kirby able to equalize this game despite being down.
I mean, up in a few kills accounts for quite a bit of farm, so...
Hey, do you remember the name of the Karthus ultimate? I totally blanked on it. Requiem. It's Requiem, isn't it?
Yeah, Requiem, I think. Because for some reason his character has musical ties. It doesn't really look like it, but...
What do you mean for
I know he does, but like that was after it, you know?
He's gonna get the double stun here. He doesn't have the teammates to reinforce. Yone gets him knocked over the wall, but is not gonna be able to follow up on that. Go back to his body there. We're gonna have the second dragon spawning in just 15 seconds. It will be a cloud dragon. Since we're looking at either Infernal or Mountain Soul this game.
Both will be
impactful.
interesting.
If that is Infernal, that would be really, really insane. Mosman going in, looking for some damage onto Mosman here. Mid laner is gonna have their ult very shortly. Danny Pacific, just gets absolutely bonked by Manny.
Yeah.
Manny hitting
but this
him
York
with
does have some time top lane.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a trade. Once again here, the team's cross-mapping, like you said, Georgia. York is getting that turret that top tier 1 in the top lane, but in exchange it is going to be utilized on the dragons. Oh, that is a Q connecting.
Oh, and that is a dead Karthus.
Entirety of Team BONK just hanging out in the tri-brush.
It's Yorick getting some time alone.
Yeah, it is Manny. He's the one guy who didn't stick around for that kill onto Hammer. He's able to make it back up to that top lane before the tier 2 gets claimed by Yorick up there.
And they do take the bot lane turrets, so somewhat ahead in turrets.
Yeah, good counter attack from Team Purple here. That is Moman. Moman going in. He has his Shadow
Flash
Dash
Death
back
Mark.
too. Yeah, that was a lot committed by Moman, definitely. So, Georgia, do you think one of these teams has an advantage at this point in the game?
I mean, just looking at the gold, it's not much of an advantage. Kill-wise, I do think that Brown scales a little bit better, unless Volps is able to get somehow really far ahead, which is, I think he's like one of the better scaling members, him and Jax. But Jax really has to put a lot of time into defending the Yorick. Like, no matter how not fed the Yorick is, it just doesn't matter because he always is going to be a threat to turrets. So the Jax has to stay there, and I think Brown does have the better scaling team, so I would say the advantage is in their hands.
Okay, remember guys, if Team Brown win this game, the series is over. It would be a 3-0 sweep for them. It's a pretty closely contested one here so far in game number 3.
A lot more closely than the last one.
Absolutely. Light edge over Derby right now, but Lopez is going to put around in mid lane. Death Mark comes down now. Yone finally engaged. The numbers were brought to the party by Team BONK. They committed.
Looks like they'll try and get this mid turret too, taking down all tier 1s.
Yeah, looks like they're going to get it here. Which is smart. He's not going to be able to stop this push.
No.
Trying to clear out the wave. Looks like he's going to be able to defend that tier 2. Noble getting a lot of work done in the top lane while this push is coming
the bonks.
through. Yeah, it hasn't decided the game just yet, but we're still waiting. We're waiting for it.
We're waiting.
Oh, Daddy Pacific.
Oh,
No, you completely whipped it.
Still getting the flash out for Daddy Pacific in exchange for his, and getting the flash out from Hayward as well.
They got a couple of flashes.
A very unfortunate thing that could have turned into a kill.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more from that one has to admit. That is going to be the second hero getting dropped in top lane. Did it even get the charge off? It did get the charge off just barely.
Yes,
I
it
thought
did.
Laser Sniper was going to be able to execute that one for a second. That is going to be
And
the
that is a
top
tier
lane.
2 turret.
Oh yeah, big old 600 gold straight into York's back pocket there. That is very rich.
Which is definitely what he needs. 150 gold bounty as the 1-3-1 Yorick.
You see a grave digger or a grave robber as Moseman maybe it's in trouble down here. He's going for the kill on a mustard cat. He can go back to the shadow. Oh, Moseman, why didn't you go back to the shadow? Soraka flashed right on top of your shadow.
But Soraka still does die.
Oh, Soraka died in your I need to go back. You're right.
I think he was a little dead and Soraka was a little dead no matter what happened in that fight.
That's pretty much how it all worked out, isn't it?
The death mark just taking the last of her.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in top lane, Yorick almost took a tier 3 tower. So that happens.
Yeah. I mean, Diana was forced to stopwatch with the Karthus Requiem.
Yeah, I mean, Diana cannot match this Yorick, right? Like, it's only
No,
Jax.
she can't.
Jax is the
And
only
Jax
one
does
who
have
can
a
do it.
small lead now. 4-2. Both jungle and top have a bounty.
Yeah, very true. Juggler for the side of Delaware Derby also has a bounty somehow. Actually, that's quite rare that you see, you know, the same role for both teams with bounties. And
Yeah.
Hammer
Oh
is
no.
going to
A
walk
little
into
too far
that.
up in his own jungle.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have any vision. And,
No, he
there
did
just
not.
happened
And
to be
he's
one
a little squishy.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky, I guess, for Hammer. But maybe play some next time. Could help out. But,
Just a little.
what do I know? That is going to be Dragon.
Drag.
on the table for Team BONK. Make this one 2-1 in Dragons. This mountain
And yeah, mountain. But it'll just be good for the 2 top laners.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, when you
But
are
I mean-
playing against assassins and a Karthus, you know, sometimes just having
That
that
shield
little
can help.
shield, yeah, can make a big difference. So, you know, would be nice for either one of these teams to get that, certainly. Man, here committing the shadow. That's means Lopez is going into Yone ultimate here. He's gonna be able to get kill on Daddy Pacific. It's another knockup as well. Or over the wall, trying to get the damage down. 1 for nothing so far in this fight. Team BONK ahead for the moment. Blue Sniper dashing in the Lunar Rush. Not gonna find a lot more for now. Manny trying to keep Doric at bay up here on this top
Constantly.
side. We're seeing a collapse come through. Rylionn is moving up here. The rest of the team is right behind him.
Does he
Manny
even
doesn't
need the
even
collapse?
need it. Manny's just gonna, he has the bigger stick. He's just gonna flash
does,
right in
the
there.
lamppost.
Take out Noble. Yeah. You can dodge a lamppost, you can win a game, but Noble, you can't do either one right now, it seems.
No.
Moseman forced to
Gold
retreat
lead.
here.
2K up in Purple's favor.
Yeah, Purple definitely with the advantage at this point. Yeah, down Delaware Derby out because, yeah, they might looking for some more counter jungling to get done here. Rich and Smart using the corner break to get back towards the red buff. He's still going to get caught by the blue ball.
flash ult.
Just managed to get the red buff and has the rocket bell now. Going to get himself away. And the ace in the hole is very nicely blocked by Daddy Pacific. It means no
Yeah,
kill comes
barely.
through.
By that blast cone bounce blocking the ace in the hole.
Was a trade of flashes and ultimates from the junglers there. But Echo forced to go back to the Fountain of Heal. Team BONK, they're going to start up this Baron. That is in the area. Is there any chance they can test it?
I mean, they don't have any vision on it. They have no idea it's even being done.
It's gone. Secured
And it
by
is
Team
gone.
BONK. And
It's like Zen might try and get something, but it's a bit too late as everyone backs with their Baron buffs.
yeah. Clean Baron into reset here for Team BONK. Very nicely done. You know, maybe the influence of Rylionn here. The
Yeah.
fresh perspective, you know, able to have some clarity and shot calling there. Secure that objective. Safely back off. Karthus was just off farming down there in bot lane. Wasn't really able to get a whole lot of anything.
No.
Now, right up Delaware Derby, they have to be a little bit careful. They're
Oh.
maybe gonna get collapsed on, but Yone is gonna dash right into a stun here. He's marked for death. Richard Smart has the stun and the chrono break to get himself out to safety. Requiem coming down now. There is the wish. There is that interaction I was talking about earlier where Mustard Cat is able to counter that Requiem. Danny Pacific going for the flash cage. He's gonna get the stun, and there's the shutdown. Moseman picks it up onto Volpez. 5v4 now on the map, and Noble is still pushing in top lane. This turret is about to
does
get
not give
bonked,
up.
Georgia. It's about to go down. Oh, he gets absolutely obliterated. Manny takes him out
blocked
before we
this
can
time.
even see. And Noble thought he had that turret in the bag, but he gets taken out 4v4 now on the map. And still Baron. There's a smooth ball to 3. That was massive from laser sniped. Able to get so much done there. He
great
does
look.
get taken out by Hammered in return. Just a little bit more follow-up, and I think that could have been even more in favor of Team BONK there, Georgia. A couple of crazy
I think
plays.
so.
Jack still
It
has
is
the Baron.
definitely insane. So does the mid laners, and they're gonna continue pushing up here. Karthus too scared to back.
Trying to destroy these minions, but look at this card. He's actually pretty far behind this one. He can't really do anything to these baroned up minions. It takes him so long to clear out these
Both
waves.
Karthus and Yorick are just a little bit behind. Like, the Zed and the Echo are pretty much like the big chances that they have in this game in order to win for Brown.
Gonna need some clean play here from Moseman and Rich. And Daddy Pacific, gonna get the stun down onto Jax. Has the Everfrost.
Just barely avoiding death.
Yeah, gonna be able to disengage there. Was a little bit of a close call for sure. Rylionn had to flash away from Moseman there. Zed on the hunt, and he is gonna be able to claim the prize.
Yeah, killing that Soraka.
Zed is definitely pretty strong. Still holding on to that death mark as well.
Did not even need it to completely annihilate the Soraka.
Not even a little bit. Oh, there's Legisnipe going in. He's gonna get locked up by the cage here. Legisnipe
Locked up
taking
by
a lot
a lot.
of damage. He gets taken out. That is gonna be the card that's going down as well. Daddy Pacific on the run. Desmark coming down now.
Desmark and
Bullface is taken
Requiem.
out. It's gonna be a couple of kills. 3 kills actually. It's only Jax and Caitlyn alive right now for Team BONK. Jax is able to get a lot of work done here. He takes out the Echo, the ace in the hole. Moseman goes down as well. Rylionn and Manny, they're trying to turn this one around. Rylionn dashing forward. Tilts over, Peacemaker connects, but he doesn't have the ultimate anymore. He had to use it to take out the Zed. Yorick
Manny
is still
just
pushing in top
killing
lane.
so
Manny thinks he's backing right now, but he actually is not, so he's just standing still in mid lane. Very unlucky there. Beating an inhibitor is probably going to go down. Man,
but it looks like
shop
he's
there,
backing
man.
out.
Oh, the Yorick didn't realize that the Jax failed
No,
to
he did
recall.
not.
And is
Not worth the risk.
yeah, respecting Manny's ability to press the B button there. It's pretty understandable.
They do get third drag, putting purple on soul point.
Yeah, that is important. Thank you, Georgia. Yeah, I was very distracted by Jax standing still in mid lane, but that is the important thing that just happened. Mountain soul point getting secured by Team BONK.
And the inhib did get taken. I think the minions
Oh, you're right.
got the best of it.
I guess they did. So that is actually quite important as well. It is top lane inhibitor,
Yeah.
so that's the closer lane to Baron. So it's not going to be as impactful as it would be if it was the opposite side inhibitor, but still, there's going to be a lot of pressure generated here for the side of Delaware Derby.
Yeah,
in
makes
that
it a
top
lot
lane.
harder for Jax to push that top lane.
Yeah, slower going for Manny up there for sure. So Rich going to secure the red buff. He's going to get caught out a little bit by Legisnipe here.
Not too much damage though.
Yeah, blue call not committed this time.
Scary Zed.
Oh my goodness, yeah, look at those hurricanes. Just ripping
Just
through the
slashing
top.
through, yeah. And with all that Grievous now.
Yep. Everybody's got that Grievous who's ready to go to the Soraka. Echo goes to the corner by trying to stay alive. Flashes away from the moonfall, stays alive. Nice on the retreat now. Moseman looking for some kind of play here. There's not a lot you can do into this level 17 Jax. Manny is so strong.
Lots of
right
items.
now.
Yeah, he just bonks and heals half his health and bonks and deals their entire health bar.
Seriously.
Uh-oh.
Moseman. Oh, he's
A little
bit
too far trying to look, but gets looked on instead.
Absolutely right there, Georgia. Just straight into 4 members of Team BONK, ends up giving over
Yep.
one there. And
Just
Baron
getting
is
caught out in their
on it.
jungle seems to be a trend.
It does. It does seem to be a common pattern here.
But it looks like they're
just so
gonna
used
try to
it.
avoid it. That is true.
Oh!
Oh.
The 3-man ultimate, and Manny is here for the follow-up. Jumps in, gets the kill onto Vagar. Looking for a little bit more
The
now.
3-man
Maiden
ultimate
on the
on-
retreat. Maiden will be able to escape into the base there. Very nicely
But that's
set up
only
by
one safe
Bullfez.
member.
Yeah, they did just get the 1 kill there, but they did force the side of Delaware Derby back into the mountain.
And it looks like Karthus is just splish pushing.
Yeah, what
don't
is
know.
Hammer doing? He's been at the bot lane all game. I think I've seen him
Yeah,
on the
maybe
top
he's
side
trying
of
to
the
take
map
over
a few
York's
times.
spot. He's just hoping to use that Requiem. Might be a little tilted, I don't know. Hard to say exactly. But we do see... Oh, I thought that was something else, but... Jax does have the Hull Breaker, while Yorick doesn't, so I guess he's the new split pusher?
Yeah, Yorick has Collector.
Yeah, he's going lethality Yorick.
Yeah, that's a...
Which I think is why he is getting bonked so hard.
Yeah, I think it probably has a lot to do with it.
They're trying to do the 3 assassin comp, but because he is so behind, he's not able to get it. Echo trying to look for something, but getting spot out.
Yeah. So the side of Delaware Derby, they want to try to prevent this Mountain Soul from coming through. Georgia, how do they do it? They're behind at this point. They're getting pushed in.
They just need to catch out that Jax. Jax can just win the team fight. by himself.
Hey.
Like,
Well, he is off by himself in top lane right now, getting that one shoved in preparation for this number spawn here. That's done. This is come down onto Diana. Loses half his HP, but he still has a Soraka on his team.
yep, half his HP's back.
Even with that grievous wound, healing is still so much.
Keep on looking for an engage, but not finding any targets with their CC. So walking out of that Vigar cage casually on multiple occasions.
Side of Team BONK, they want to make use of this Baron buff. They don't really care about setting up dragons right now. While they have Baron, they want to try and push these waves in.
Oh wow! Rylionn!
Whoa, I didn't even see what happened. How did Moseman die
Just
there?
all of those
He
crits!
flashed, too. I actually didn't even see Zed die.
Rylionn being the assassin this time, basically four-shotting that Zed. Not able to get away.
Headshots
No shadows or
master
flash
shadows.
could save them.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the damage on the blue buff there, like. But that is a great ability to get the dragon. They don't need the Baron buff when they can just get this soul.
Rylionn may be exactly what Team BONK needed to turn this series around. Still too soon to tell, of course. Still a lot of league to play here tonight, potentially. Maybe. Now getting collapsed on. He's on retreat. Going to the counter-strike. Gonna stun up Echo here. Richard's taking a lot of damage as the chrono break. Gonna get himself back away from the Jax. Mini taking a lot of damage now. He's a Vigar ultimate, but he's gonna be able to get the kill on Echo. He's got the kill on Zurich. He's got the triple kill for himself. Manny! And the 1v4 gets 3! And the rest of the team, they're pushing in mid lane now. It's
Yeah.
Yone and Diana, they're looking for the end. It's only the Zed and the Karthus, I guess, who's still alive. The Karthus is still AFK in a side lane. Karthus just has no idea what's going on this game. His next turns are going down. Volpez, Damon, and Laser Sniper are trying to end the game right now. Karthus did manage to find his way back to the fountain. He's throwing out the wall now, but Moseman is already done. He's saying, let's go next, guys. I don't want to play this one anymore. As Yone is going to get the ultimate now. Volpez, Damon, going to trade 1-for-1 with the mid laner, which should be the green light for Laser Sniper to auto-attack the Nexus. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to game number 4. Team BONK fighting back here in the series.
Yeah, not getting completely annihilated in this series. It is now 2-1. So it is maybe going to be a comeback from the side of purple. That game was definitely pretty even for a lot of its duration, but the Jax just getting a lot of kills onto Noble in the top lane, I think pushed him ahead and in the end pushed those team fights ahead, getting them the victory.
Jax did not have as much damage as Yone, because Yone, of course, is not a balanced champion. But, you know, still, I have to agree with you, Georgia. It really was Manny doing most of the work there in that one. I mean, I guess we can give some credit to Volpez as well. He did have a couple of pretty good engages there with the ultimate. Able to set up his team pretty well.
As well as Laser Snipes had a lot of really good ultimates that game.
And, I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Rylionn as well.
Yeah.
He really do so much work in stabilizing that bot lane. And that kill
and then
onto
Mustard Cat just keeping it all up. Yeah, that kill on the Moseman at the end, you didn't even notice it. It was just
tower. That was pretty massive.
The range
well.
and the damage, too much.
Yeah. Oh man, what a game. We are gonna be going to game 4 here. We'll see in just a moment what the side selections are gonna look like. I believe side selection does go over to Delaware Derby now, correct?
Since
So
they did lose.
we'll see what they want to go for here, if they're going to take back blue side. And maybe that was what the side of Team BONK needed to get the win here. But I think we are going to go to a short break. I definitely need one while these teams do file into the lobby and start getting set up for this 4th game. But guys, I think we may have a series on our hands here, so we're definitely not going to want to go anywhere. We're going to have some more Team Gap League action in just a few moments.
So I don't know if there's gonna be a fourth team. Brown has 2 players that can't play, so they need 2 emergency subs.
This just in. Team Brown, you said, has another player who can't continue the series tonight?
Mm-hmm.
That is very, very unfortunate here.
So we will have to see if they will get a sub or if Purple will postpone the match a day just to allow them to continue another day, which I don't know. It might stop the momentum, but at the same time, it might reset the mental as well.
Yeah, what an interesting situation. I mean, what are the team gap rules on this exactly?
Do they already have a sub?
I don't know.
Because I think if they have 2 more subs, then they lose the 3 bans.
Right. They would have no bans.
They would have no bans first round, but they would have the 2 for the second round.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess stay tuned for that, guys. But yeah, sorry, Georgia. So I actually don't know how to mute us while we go to break. So yeah, when I go to break, I just mute myself in Discord because I don't know how to actually do the thing.
I figured that out after you did reply.
No, yeah, it's all good. I don't really know how to stream, but it's fine. We're making it work.
We are? Alright.
So how long do you think? How long do we give Team Purple to try and figure out the situation and find a sub?
Oh, it's Team Brown that needs the subs actually.
Team Brown needs the sub. Well,
yeah.
Well, then they would just lose a ban of their own, right? Or but if they can't find a sub, then they can't play.
Yeah.
So the issue is just finding a sub, basically, right now.
Yeah, they find a sub, or if Purple wants to reschedule the match, it is up to them.
So if Team Brown cannot find a sub, then they forfeit the series, or we reschedule.
I think if Purple wants to, then they can allow Team Brown to forfeit the series if they cannot find a sub in time.
Okay. Well, how long does Team Brown have to find a sub then? Some kind of time. I mean, we can't just.
I know there does.
I mean, I guess we could.
I'll give them. I'll give them 5 minutes to discuss from right now. So 41, depending on what time zone you're in.
Alrighty. I am going to set a countdown for call it 6 minutes. I'll give the stream an extra minute there. And we will just have to wait and see, guys. We have some extra suspense added on top of our already exciting series tonight. Will Team Brown be able to continue? Stay tuned and find out. And I'm muting myself now, by the way.
Okay.
again, everybody. We are back. Have an update for you on this developing situation. It seems that maybe Team Brown is actually good to go. Is that right, Georgia?
Yeah, I guess they just needed a short break, and that'll help them wake up early. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're back, so hopefully we can get the game on the road as quick as possible.
Wow.
Um,
I guess the bot lane of Delaware Derby needed to try and get to bed on time tonight, but Team Purple pushing them a little bit later into the evening than they would have liked, maybe.
yeah, they wanted to get that 3-0, but we're not able to, so.
So disappointing from them, but definitely huge for Team BONK. And, again, we should shout out Rylionn for subbing in and stepping up and really helping them to get that dub.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, what do you think was the most critical thing about that Game 3 that helped Team Purple come back and get a game here?
I mean, I think Rylionn was really good at resetting the mental. They were able to really, I think they had a lot more synergy and they were able to match the roams a lot better this time because Brown did try to roam quite a bit, but they were able to counteract. And Karthus got caught out multiple times, so did the Vigar. So, and they also were able to invade the jungle. They did a really good job pushing their lead, just as Brown had did in the game earlier, even if it wasn't as insane of a lead.
Yeah, they definitely
was catching them out.
And they were against the the composition that we thought scaled a little bit better. Of course, Manny maybe would have something different to say. He definitely
apparently
scaled pretty hard himself there on the Jax, but definitely just well played by the side of Team BONK. And I like what you said there about matching the rotations and being able to bring more members to the fights. It seemed to be a consistent thing that they were able to do in that third game, is out-rotate the side of Delaware Derby and just out-fight them in those, those mismatched, those uneven fights.
I think the global Soraka ult helped quite a bit. As much as the Requiem did damage, it also didn't come off cooldown as often. So the Soraka ult, I think, really helped keep the people alive until they could get there.
Yeah,
so
we saw that interaction a couple of times where Soraka ults in response to the Karthus ult and prevents anybody from going down. Very nicely done there by Mustard Cat in that one as well. It's like we're almost ready for this next champ select, guys, for game number 4.
Yeah, trying to get the games forward.
Back to Delaware Derby on blue side, it looks like. Team BONK returning to red. Do you think that's going to be important, for these squads in this next game?
I mean, I think what's really going to be important is how they continue to use the bans. Because we see that Brown has all 3 of their bans back, despite the short break where it seemed like they wouldn't. So they have all 3 bans. But BONK still using Rylionn means that they only have the 1 ban first phase, and we have to wonder if it's going to be used on the MF again or if it's going to be used on someone else, because I think definitely the Karthus was a lot weaker than the MF pick for Hammered.
Yeah, he definitely seems to be less comfortable on the Karthus for sure. And, maybe Moseman on the Zed as well, that not having any mastery maybe, was...
I think it did have a little bit of an impact. He did play well, just I think more experience on the champ would have made him play amazing.
Yeah. Just a couple of times going in when he wasn't actually able to find the pick that he was looking for. But we are into the champion select now, guys, for this 4th game. Looks like it's going to be Yuumi and Kindred removed right off the bat here by Delaware Derby.
Same as last time. So they're not changing up the bans too much so far. But it looks like a Jax ban coming through. They really do not want to see Manny on that Jax again, because I would say he had a very big impact on the previous game.
Although the Yone seems to be pretty important for that one to work out as well for the side of Team Purple. And it is still available. But first pick, of course, does go over to the Delaware Derby, so see what they decide
Yeah.
to do with that. It seems like...
I mean, they could potentially steal the Yone, and it looks like it will be a York ban, so they will get the Misfortune or Hammered.
Okay. Despite Noble's not great performance,
They just don't like they don't like the York in the top lane, I
they
guess.
just would rather not, I guess. Which does mean
Fair enough.
that a lot of things are open here. Mosman's entire champion pool still available.
Definitely, and a big one as we've seen.
Yes. As well as
Caitlyn picked again, so Caitlyn versus MF this time. I mean,
yeah.
she still has a range advantage, but Caitlyn's been abused in the meta recently Misfortune has been very abusable in the meta recently for good reasons. Looks like Soraka picked up as well.
Yeah, we'll see if a more traditional AD carry matchup down here in the bottom lane is going to
but
even
will it
things
be
up in favor
the
of
traditional support, or will it be the Vigar for the 4th game in a row?
Oh, well, it will obviously be the Vagar, because what else? I mean, it's the only thing Daddy Pacific plays. What else would he pick?
Fair enough, and he does have that mastery on it, so... The Vigar, there we see it.
Yeah.
So we have the bot lanes decided.
That is, I believe, the exact bot lane that Delaware Derby were running in Game 2 when they just hard stomped.
But they do have a different ADC they're facing this time. So that might change the outcome of this bot lane matchup.
Gonna be interested to see for sure. But, you know, that Event Horizon Bullet Time combo, Bullet Horizon, let's call it, is...
Bullet Horizon, that's all they can see.
Yeah.
And the Caston picked up as well. It's just looking like a repeat of Game 2 in this draft.
Delaware Derby, they do not want to go to Game 5. They do not want to hear Silver Scrapes. They want to go to sleep as soon as possible.
They do.
How they are planning to do that is by running back their Game 2 draft. Seems like a pretty solid strategy. But yeah, yes, the Irelia. Is this going to throw a wrench in things? Do you think this is a good pick for Team Purple? What are we looking at here? Who's playing this? What's going on?
Yeah, who is playing this? It could be either Volt or Manny on it, and I guess it might even depend on the matchup, which one. They might not even know themselves who that is going to. But I do think it is a good pick. The Vigar cage does have a lot of limitations on it, though, because it's a lot harder to dash around when there is that big cage in the middle of the lane that can stun you.
Yeah, it does tend to make things a bit more difficult.
Nasus and Malphite bans getting the top lane out of here.
Yeah, we're going to top lane focus. Neither team has drafted their top laner, unless, of course, Irelia is flexed up into that position. But she really is played more often in mid lane these days.
Yeah, she is.
Still go top lane, of course. We'll see if this top lane focus continues. Malphite ban still being considered, actually, and it will be the Diana instead.
Diana. They did not like those Diana ults.
Yeah, Laser Sniped did have a very strong performance on that Diana, no doubt about it. It was complimented, I think, by his mid laner. But still,
definitely was complimented. Yeah. They had a lot more of a wombo combo than I would have expected.
Yeah, they really did make it work. They really did.
Urgot banned.
Yeah, gonna get removed from Noble. I think, yeah, Urgot was the champion he was on in Game 2.
Yeah, they do not want an exact repeat.
Yeah, at least one of you has to play a different champion, is what Team Purple are saying to Delaware Derby right now.
Yeah, you can't all be on the same ones. We're not having that PTSD over again.
The Rock will find himself on the bench for this game in the end.
Yes.
Delaware Derby will ban him out, as well as the Diana in that second phase. See what Team BONK decided to go for here. The Sejuani is a very nice pairing with the Irelia. What are your thoughts on that?
And one of the first tanks we've seen.
True.
I mean, like there has been the top lane bruisers, but yeah, there wasn't a Mumu earlier. That is true. I didn't see much tankiness out of it, but
true.
We'll have to see what the jungler responds with, and it's looking like it might be a battle of the Cavalier.
You got there. You got there.
I got it. With Sejuani and Hecarim both riding their mounts.
Yes, absolutely. Although Hecarim, he kind of is the mount, right?
That is
He's not
true.
really
He's like
riding
part of his
anything.
horse.
He just
And I'd be very excited to see a headless Heckram. Can I put a
Yes.
skin request in?
would be thematic, definitely.
Looks like it might be a Camille top. So constant split push threat is like really what they are going for. You can ban out as many chumps as you want, but it's Noble just wants to be there split pushing in the top lane. Honestly, Brown is a very split pushy team. Even the Karthus last game was really showing off their split push prowess.
Split push Karthus bot, yes. That was, I will say, I did not find that one to be very inspiring, but, you know, the Camille
Shen
could
into that
definitely
Camille.
do some work in the side lane, and yeah, I do like that. I believe the Shen is a counter pick into the Camille.
Yeah.
You're able to immune the Q2 with the Shen W.
All that damage.
Yeah, so no
All
chill
gone
gathers
away.
for Camille. You know, theoretically, as long as Shen holds on to that cooldown.
And the Shen protection is really good. It seems like Caitlyn is going to have, like, Rylionn is going to have a lot of protection in this game with the Soraka and the Shen. So hopefully that's able to keep him safe from the Heckram. And the Camille, I would assume, it's a lot less assassins than any of the other games we've seen.
Yeah, it seems to be definitely team fighting compositions for both squads
Yeah.
this game. I will
Definitely team fighting.
More of a strong person,
I
huh?
feel like Miss Fortune
Happy to
does
do
have
this
a
one.
lot of setup in this game. She does have the
I
Vague
mean,
Arcade.
yeah.
and-
But the Heckram's just going to scare him away.
Overstep.
and
But if the Heckram does scare him in, I mean, I don't know. It's a very team fight heavy comp if they play it properly. And I mean, if they don't play it properly, they can still just have to cast it, run the rift.
just cast it. Those man's cast it, no less. So, yeah, that should definitely be a win condition for them, regardless of how the team fights.
It's your funeral.
Yeah. Hit that 16 and it's a bit scary. Hopefully not getting a triple kill this time to top it off.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely Team Purple. They're just gonna have to try and scrub Game 2 from their memories as best as they can right now. 'Cause it really was. Just
They got a new
an
ADC,
advantage
they
for
just-
that game.
Yeah. He just was able to invade the jungle and they were safe nowhere. Like, those turrets were not stopping anyone.
Yeah, they were just paper. That game 2 should be interesting here. I like what you were saying about all of the protection for Team Purple that has been drafted for Rylionn's Kate in this game. Although, unfortunately for Team Purple, they have once again failed to draft any magic damage for themselves. Heckram, pretty tanky here. I sound like a broken record. They just keep doing it. Georgia.
Yeah, they do. It makes me kind of sad. I don't even notice it, and then it's just like, well, maybe Soraka will build AP. You never know. AP Yumi's a thing now, so.
Oh, God.
That one's fun to abuse.
Thankfully, Yumi is banned, so we won't have to worry about
Yumi
seeing
is
that.
banned. They really don't like Mustard Cat's Yumi, and you know, I'd be kind of excited to see it, so I don't know why.
Do not my
I mean,
patience.
I think you're in the minority on this one, Georgia. I don't think most people are excited to see Yumi of any kind, AP or not.
I don't know why. Yumi's so much fun. Anyways,
Moving on.
moving on. I think the mid lane is going to be pretty snowbally as well. If either Volps or Mosman get a lead, that's pretty big for the rest of the game. And last time we saw Manny on the carry with like 8 and 2 at the end, but we did see that Yone did have a lot of the damage. So if he has as much like ability on the Aurelia as he did on that Yone, and sure, Yone is a ridiculous champ, but then have you heard of this champ called Aurelia? She can be pretty ridiculous as well, so Kassadin can run the rift, but Aurelia's got the blades to stop him. We'll just have to see who comes out on top.
She certainly does have the potential, Georgia. You're quite right. It will be, I think, a big part of how this team is decided is how that mid lane does go. In that last game, in game number 3, it was Team Purple that were consistently bringing more members to those mid lane fights because Karthus refused to leave bot lane. the entire game.
I mean, he left bot lane a few times, but after
Okay,
that,
fair.
he got killed in the river like 3 times. So maybe he's the one with PTSD from the last game.
Okay, yeah. I mean, maybe this momentum has shifted now. Perhaps it's Team Purple who should be favored here. What do you think, Georgia? Now that we see the compositions, do you think one is definitively stronger? Do you think the momentum from Game 3 is going to be meaningful or not?
I do think the momentum from Game 3 is really meaningful. They got a headspace reset, and it does seem like Brown might be a little tired. So we'll have to see if that comes into effect in this game.
Some exhaustion, yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit actually at the beginning of the cast tonight about how endurance would play a role in the series this evening. If Team Purple have more endurance, they could outpace.
I mean, they did get that new bot laner in exchange for losing 1 ban, so
worth. Hashtag worth.
Worth. We'll have to see how the mid lane jungle fights play out, since both the both junglers have like really good ults in order to lock down the other. But both mid laners are really hard to lock down at the same time, so it'll just be who can apply that better.
Definitely.
And hoping to see the range advantage on the Kate or that Vigar again.
Right. Once again.
Maybe they won't have that early jungle pressure, or maybe they will. Maybe that Hecarim is just gonna do. Rich and Smart's just gonna continue doing those spam ganks in order to push his lanes ahead.
Yeah, that is really interesting that Rich and Smart committed that early pressure in that last game, but it was still the Caitlyn Soraka lane that ended up getting ahead. So
Yeah.
Rylionn and Mustard Cat, I do feel like they played the Rangers pretty well in that
They
last
did.
game. See if they're going to be able to keep it up here.
I do think that that'll decide a lot of the outcome of the game as well. There's just so many variables in this game. It's really hard to decide.
Well, Georgia, that's why we love League of Legends. All those lovely variables. Yeah, we are just a little over a minute left on the spectator delay, guys. We should be getting into that game pretty shortly. The game number 4 of the series tonight, Delaware Derby, up 2-1 right now in this best of 5. And the winner of this series, remember, we'll play another series next week. So
Yeah, the semifinals will be next week, and in that we'll get Team Red and Green being introduced into this into this semifinals matchups.
Wait,
So it'll be interesting.
If the winner of this is playing one of those teams, who is the other one of those teams playing?
The other one of the teams playing is going to be Silver Black due to Gray not being able to find a teammate in time and unfortunately forfeiting their game against Black. So there's not much known about Black since they haven't been playing much in the last few weeks, just because the schedules kind of got a bit messy with a few teams dropping out. So we'll have to see if they've improved, if they've gotten worse. I don't know. Without playing all these matches, so I think it's going to be a big mystery for whoever goes up against them.
Interesting. Well, we will just have to wait and see. Black may be the literal dark horse in the tournament.
True. But we are loading into this game. Not much more CC than any of the other games, so I'm not expecting any invades. Not wanting to take any risks.
I mean, we've had
all these games have been so snowbally. Like,
for sure.
One of those kills just makes the game. They do have Bewitching Misfortune, so that one's pretty good.
And Fury Horn cosplay. Veigar is in costume.
He is. That is true.
Yeah.
They have like the Halloween bot lane.
And Soraka has no Dawnbringer synergy this time, so they're not going to
She
have
doesn't,
that,
but look,
available.
Noble and Mosman, skinless.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Both
So,
skinless. That's
does
twice
that
as many
counteract?
as last game.
Yeah, that is twice as many. Is that going to counteract the Halloween synergy in the bot lane? Because the enemy team does have a lot of skins, and they are pretty good ones too.
Yeah, they are pretty good ones. They are pretty good ones. I do like the Surgeon Shen there. It's kind of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Common? The most common
Yeah,
of the skins.
that is fair.
But I do like it. It always has its place there.
And the Project Aurelia skin. I mean, it's
Oh, sure.
beautiful, so.
You know, it's prestige, whatever.
Yeah, all golden and stuff. But will the goldenness help him beat the Cassidon? He does have
Go ahead.
more mastery?
Oh, okay. I was going to say Ignite. So he has
And
more mastery
Ignite.
and Ignite. So, you know, between...
He does really want to go for that early pressure and get those kills, not having TP.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, Cassidon never really wants to take Ignite. He can't play for early.
No, he cannot.
Report on that one. Paused at 10. So.
Oh,
Where are you at?
paused at 16, but I'll go back to 10.
Okay.
Alright, I'm at 10, so count down whatever.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 11, 12.
13, 14. Looks good. And we see Dark Seal on the Cassidon, but those are fillables. Nothing else very unusual.
Welcome to Summoner.
Top laner's going for the grasp battle, so we'll see who gets it better. But it looks like there might be an infight this game.
Got the 5 stack for
30
Team
seconds
Circle. They're
until
in
minions
this line
spawn.
bush, south of mid lane.
But there's no one in the bush to
Very
greet them.
I'm not sure if Cassidon spotted them as they were moving in there. But they are not
No.
going to be looking for a whole lot. They just wanted that deep ward next to the Raptors. Trying
They
to
did
spot
get
out
the
some
deep
early
ward.
pathing here from Rich and Smart.
Looks like Sejuani's gonna back and probably switch to Oracle after using his ward there.
Minions have spawned.
He's going to be cutting it a little bit close. Usually, you want to recall by 1 minute. You want to be back in base in order to get back out onto the map in time for your buff to spawn.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's going to be
Only a little late.
Almost in time.
Yeah,
You know, he's
good
gonna be
enough.
about there.
Yeah, Camille not having flash this time as well, which is pretty common. Just have all the hook shots, you don't really need any of that extra mobility when you have so much to start.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that flash isn't useful, because of course it always
Yeah.
is, but you know, a lot of
But so
Camille
is the
players-
Ignite and the TP.
Yeah, just favor the other summoner spells there. The Ignite can kill pressure early, and teleport, of course, playing top lane, and you kind of need teleport to play the game up there.
Yeah, the waves are just so important. As I figured out from my few times playing top lane.
Yeah, right. Also, my ill-fated top lane adventures have taught me this. Of course, Rylionn gets pushed in early in mid lane here.
Get all that CS.
Cassidon just gonna have to combo the tower for a while.
Aurelia just checking up on the jungle as well. Has a lot of
Refreshing
pressure,
that,
so
that ward over by the Raptors there. They put it.
they really want to
at
know when he
level
takes
1.
them.
They really want to know when he takes those Raptors. Very, very
I
important.
mean, it is very crucial to know if he's going to do any more of those early ganks, because they were really messing him up last game. It looks like they're going to go into this jungle.
Find Hecarim here. He does land the Arctic Assault. One more auto attack and he will have the stun. There it is. Hecarim getting pretty low here. Rich and Smart. He has the E off a cooldown and he's going to trance his way out of there. But maybe forced to give up his entire bot side here, Georgia.
Yeah, I guess that ward came in a lot more useful than I thought it would be, honestly. Because invading there gave him a lot of pressure in the jungle and probably another farm lead, which was the start to last game, so.
Yeah, Hecarim is just taking this top side scuttle crab for now. See if he wants to try and check up on the top side camps of the Sejuani. As we know, they are all up. Smart would need to do some investigating. Well, he should know, actually.
It looks like Manny is doing some investigating.
Manny is gonna, investigate as Hecarim in his Cry Brush. But, you know, not really gonna be too worried about it.
Yeah, no. Hecarim not going into that red side jungle, and Sejuani, he's run out of time as Sejuani is gonna try and go for the second scuttle, maybe assuming he backed.
So it's just gonna be several camp lead for Laser Snipe once he does pick up those top side camps.
Yeah, just the invade on the Raptors did really good. I mean, all he got was his red buff though, he didn't take the Krugs, did he?
Yeah, he got most of the chickens as well as the red.
That is true, he got quite a few chickens as well. So he should be quite a bit in a farm league.
Look at this, he's actually not going for his own red. He's moving back down towards the bottom side as Hammer is
taking a beating.
A lot of damage
Yeah.
to Soraka, but takes a lot of damage himself. That's not really worthwhile when you're hitting the support and the enemy AD is hitting you. Not a good trade.
Yeah, no.
He's gonna want to
especially with
those.
the life that he's got.
Yeah,
First
as
blood.
Oh, he's getting ignited right now in the caster, but the tower shot. Oh, Rylionn stays alive with the triumph. Vulpes barely survives that one. Does get the kill onto Moseman.
Yeah, and that is a turn that they needed, so that's going to be very decisive for the rest of the game. That ignite was useful, and Caston will probably have to use his TP here, or not.
Wave just outside of the turret range there, so he's not going to burn it yet.
A summoner has disconnected.
You know, he's thinking he might need a little bit more later on. Now that Rylion's ahead, you know,
Yeah.
It's going to be a bit scary for the Caston.
But they have some time to think about this scariness as it is paused.
They're going to mull it over for a little while here.
Yeah.
Has reconnected.
Oh, but it looks like they are going to be back in the game pretty quickly, not a long pause. And the spectator delay as always.
Yeah, classic,
It's-
classic.
They can't have a normal spectator delay or anything. That'd be crazy.
Can't have nice things, can we, Georgia?
No, not with the league.
It's not really going to happen. But you know, we
No.
should see some more gameplay eventually here.
Mhm. Yeah, it'll get back eventually.
There it
There
is.
we go. Yeah. Top lane grasp battle.
Yeah, they're just grasping at each other here, grasping at straws, if you will. But nobody is managed to get a firm grip on one just yet, as Hecarim is looking for something in mid lane here. Both still only level 5 and gets pushed back here. Does land a
But the double
beautiful
stun.
duet. That was indeed flawless from Bulba. Locks up the opposition. Going in
Sejuani
now
is
with
here
the
too
Q.
now.
Laser Snipe is here for the counter gank. But we're going to have to be a little bit careful here. Moseman has the wave now pushing in. He's got a lot of minions behind him. Really, you don't want to dash in there with the wave that big as Mother Cat. Just forced out the heal there, flashed away, staying 11. Rylionn now finding himself in a 1v2. He's trying to auto attack down this misfortune, but will be forced to flash away. A lot of summoner spells just burned by that team bonk bottom
But
lane.
none of the flashes on the side of Brown.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, flashing in.
The
Moseman
Shen
looking
ult.
for it, but the Shen ultimate. The Stand United will save Irelia's life, and it's going to be 2
It
kills
will.
for Vulpes.
and you can tell he was looking for that. He was so ready for it.
Yeah,
The
man,
flash
he was
being
so
used
quick on
and
that.
it just ends up in another kill for the Aurelia. So Aurelia getting really ahead this time. Looks like they might look for Dragon here.
Team Bonk, they're off to an early lead here in Game 4. They want to tie this series up 2-2. And they do it. Dragon is getting started up here. We're at 7 minutes now. Dragon number 1 is under fire. Daddy Pacific is in the area. He's going to spot this one out. He's going to see what's going
He is,
on
but
here.
can you really contest all 5 of them?
Not a lot he can do here as the Veigar will be secured by Laser Snipe.
Yeah, the Dragon.
Yes, the Dragon will be secured. What else would I have meant?
He said the Veigar.
Oh, did I say Veigar was secured? Oh,
Yeah.
my bad.
No, it's fine. It was funny. Soraka getting some vision. But at what cost?
Oh, Mustard Cat is
MF.
taking some damage here.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do have really good vision in the bot side for the side of purple, though.
They do.
Rylionn abusing that range into the Caitlyn, but not doing much damage right now with just 2 tier 2 boots.
Yeah. Needs some AD on the Caitlyn before he's really gonna be able to burst.
Yeah, before he's gonna be able to 3-shot the Zed, apparently.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely a good performance last game for Rylionn, so I'm sure it's only a matter of time before. Oh, we got Aurelia going in here. Volpez doing something. Also in
As
top
well
lane,
as
another
Manny.
1v1. Both of these guys are Manny looking to get a little bit of a better grasp on this lane right now.
Yeah,
he
he
back
is.
in, gets another Brock there. Very nice from Manny. He is picking up where he left off in game 3. For another play in mid lane, a round 3 fight
just
as
not making
Volpez
it.
throws out the Vanguard Zed, but it will not be enough to save him as Stand United was not yet off the cooldown. And it's gonna be Hecarim on the board for the first kill this game for the Delaware Derby.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you wanted the Caston to get it, but the Hecarim isn't the worst thing either, because he is going to get quite a bit tankier considering they have no AP.
Yeah, it looks like it is going to be Divine Sunburst first item. I do like, you know, the Hecarim nerfs that came through a while ago were primarily to his, base damages, mostly on his abilities at his base AP, I believe. They increased the AD scaling, so if Hecarim builds damage, he still hurts just as bad as he did before, if not more so.
Yeah, he can definitely be a really big threat for both being, like, unable to kill as well as dealing a lot of damage. He's his own assassin, in a weird way.
Yes, the cavalry flanking tank assassin guy.
He's got a lot of roles, and he can fill them all.
Not quite as many as Ornn, I guess, but, you know, pretty close. Pretty close.
That Rift Scuttle still attacking Sejuani while he waits in the bush.
Yeah, Rift Scuttle yeah, Rift Herald was thinking about taking it there, but he ended up turning around in the end.
The mid-gank from the Rift Herald.
Roaming through mid here, trying to make sure that Irelia is safe, but Hecarim has a little bit of a delayed angle here. He's not going to go for it this time. Irelia dipping into the ball of 4 there off on the bot side. Manny
smart.
here on top side has the level advantage versus Camille. Throws out the auto attack null zone pretty early on here, forced to flash away, but he will be able to escape with the help of that summoner spell.
Yeah, Flash barely saving his life. The flash and the dash.
Very active. He's trying to get some stuff done. He has been falling pretty far behind in CS here as a result in the jungle.
Caitlyn's still not being able to do much damage to the NF.
Locked up here. Taken out. Yeah, Rylionn, if he had a little bit more damage, that could have even been a kill with that crowd control.
Yeah.
Cat, but
He was slowed for so long, but it just was not enough to get all the damage down.
Manny is still up here. He doesn't have flash anymore, and Hecarim is still looking for it. There's X-Cycle Ultimatum, and the taunt is not going to get to Shen anywhere. And that's going to be a kill.
That's not
for
in
Noble.
that hexagon.
Yeah, Delaware Derby, they've tied the game up 2-2 with the goal is dead even 12 minutes in here, Georgia. Closely contested one here in game 4. Rylionn just barely gets out of the cage with the 19.
Yeah, that was definitely closer than he would have liked.
Oh yeah, would have been death, I think, for sure, if he got locked up by that one. Full time, ready to go for a hammered right now as well.
I just feel like Laser's just like taking all the jungles. Like they're all his at this point.
Yeah, seriously. That's a
Flash
flash in from
silence.
Cat. Because Laser Snipe is here, throws out the Glacial Prison, not going to find it. But he's underneath the tower. He's got the kill onto Hammered. Veigar will go down as well. And Laser Snipe able to get his bot lane on the board.
Just in time for the second drag. It looks like they are continuing to prio these drags.
Yeah, they're looking to stack these. It's going to be either Infernal or Cloud, so this game we should know momentarily here as the second dragon is secured by Team BONK. They're definitely ahead in terms of neutrals so far in this.
Yeah.
Actually, the Rift Herald is just, looks like it's just
I
being
think
taken.
Rift Herald's being taken, yeah.
By
So they are
side.
trying to even it out with a response from the other side.
Exactly right. He's out of Delaware Derby. looking to take it over the top side river and subsequently the big purple crab. They don't have a whole lot of time to get flanked with it, though. Only
They do
55
not.
seconds before all that gold
But it looks like they
falls
might be
away.
taking it top.
Yeah, Shen may be in some trouble here. Manny is going to need to get out of dodge. Test these guys right now as Mo's man is going to just kind of
Escape the Vanguard's edge. Yeah.
Pretty comfortably, it looks like. Not really sure what Volpez was looking for there exactly, but definitely
Yeah.
didn't find it. Whatever it was.
Cast it in with the Rift Walker. Not gonna achieve very much by slowing him.
It's a level lead for the Caston, even with 2 deaths. Somehow he's still managing to get more experience than the Aurelia here. I'm not sure how that one happened.
Noble might be in danger though.
He is definitely in danger. He's gonna get stunned up here, and he is underneath the turret, but the Glacial Prison will secure the kill, and Manny is gonna be the one picking up the last hit as Hammered. Gonna get auto attacked several times by Rylionn here. He's trying to get some damage back, but the Caitlyn has come a little bit online
ace
here.
in the
George with the ace
hole.
in the hole. Will
Yeah.
be just that for Rylionn.
That
as he
small
picks up
amount
his
of
second.
damage just given by the Noon Quivers, just enough for him to pop it in a few autos, and now he is 2-0, again in the lead in the bot lane.
Well, there is a pickaxe there as well.
Yeah.
Out a little bit. Says,
That one kill definitely gave him some leverage in the bot lane.
Yeah, courtesy of laser snipes, right? Jungle diff.
Mm-hmm.
Finally,
Jungle diff.
You know, makes a significant advantage for bottom lane there.
Yeah, while being up quite a bit of farm too.
Yeah. So
Looks
Team
like
Purple.
Volps is in a little weird spot.
Yeah, he's getting some vision down onto the enemy red, but Richard Smart does have the sweeper ready to go.
Mo's
That
been
one out.
trying to.
That's an interesting teleport.
That is an interesting
He's gonna
teleport.
rip walk straight out to a control ward, but he does get away from the Soraka, so the Twilight flashing away, and is
Flash
gonna burn
and heal.
Summoners and stay alive. Cost the teleport of Mo's man, but you know, still getting both of those summoners off the Caitlyn could be pretty big.
Yeah. Now it's just all up to the positioning, as it looks like Soraka might be in a rough spot. Oh, but the
Bullet
sun-
Horizon! The Bullet Horizon! Oh, the silence! Mustard Cat outplays it and gets the kill, and now the Glacial Prison is gonna lock up Daddy Pacific. He's gonna go down as well.
bot lane
8-2
is dead
Team
again.
BONK. They're pulling ahead right now in Game 4, Georgia.
They are pulling ahead. 2-8, 4 times the kills. And a 2k gold lead, as it looks like there might be a jungle fight here.
Yeah.
But Sejuani is up a level and some gold.
Gotta stun up the Hecarim here. Rich and Smart trying to gallop away from this one once again. Roseman joining in. Potentially a 2v2 here, but Rich and Smart is already so low. Ball Slept won't connect this time. Sejuani also taking a lot of damage. They will be able to
Camille
back
here
away.
now.
Look at this flank from Noble. He's looking for the big play here. The hook shot is not gonna connect though. Vanguard's edge only onto Camille. Lopez trying to buy some time. The spear does connect. They're gonna be able to take out this Irelia. Oh, the Stand United. Shen, Lopez still alive. Manny able to take out
Oh
the
my
Hecarim. Now
gosh.
Daddy Pacific dropping the Event Horizon. Gonna stun up the Sejuani. They just sniped in Manny. Gonna have to retreat now, but they're able to keep their mid laner alive and take out the enemy
Yeah.
jungler.
A 1-for-0 trade in the end after all of that. Just the defensiveness of Purple's comp allowing them to stay alive. The Soraka heals, the Stand United, they just can't get the last hits that they need onto these Purple members.
Yeah, exactly right. That was the power of the heals and the shields on full display there in that fight. Team Purple able to really show what this competition can do. Rylionn now
Yeah.
in mid lane, both bottom lanes have moved into mid here. Volpez still hanging out as well. He's like, oh wait.
As well as most men. They're just all hanging out.
Yeah.
And as you said, the turret plating is gone, so not getting as much gold for this, but it will be first turret, so still a little bit extra.
Still a nice little chunk of gold into Noble's pocket there.
So maybe he can continue to split push. You do see the executioners being built all around though. They do not like the Soraka.
Yeah, I mean you have to get Soraka, right?
Uh-huh. And even still, she's healing so much.
Yeah, because her ultimate removes Grievous now.
Removes
doesn't
Grievous.
even counter her that
It was a
hard.
crazy buff.
Yeah. Dragon number 3 is alive here, guys. And we don't have no Cloud Soul, no Mountain Soul this game. It's Infernal, baby.
No.
We're going to have
And
some
Infernal
loose procs
is...
for some people here in this one. As we have, once again, Team BONK. They're committing
The
all
bullet
of the
time,
resources to
but
this
not
play.
enough.
With the bullet time, no, it is secured. Laser sniped smite is true. He's going to be able to pick up that objective. 3 dragons to nil. And it's still
Soul
2,000
points.
gold lead. And Team BONK, they're looking strong.
Yeah, they are definitely looking strong. 2-9. Scaling is somewhat on their side, but not as much as I would say it was last game.
On top here, the balls went not quite having the range. There was Volpez.
Bot turret taking some damage, maybe falling over here as laser snipes there to back him up.
Yeah, the last one over the wall. You're gonna hammer on the person. Right into the drugs for now. The prison is available. Will laser pull the trigger? Not yet.
No.
Acid roaming down now as well. And then maybe look to make this a 3v3. No, he's just gonna respect the power of the Caitlyn and the Sejuani at this point in the game. Play it safe, go back to mid, keep on farming.
I mean, the Sejuani is 2-0.
Yeah, it's been a great game for Laser Sniped, absolutely. He's been extremely active. Really,
I mean, less active in the start, but just the CS lead led to him helping out that bot lane, getting the Kate ahead. And so far, that's been really good for working out well for them.
I mean, the CS lead was of his own making, though. Remember, he was the one
Yeah.
who invaded on the enemy Raptor.
That
and pushed
important
Laser out
control
of
ward.
trouble.
Or yeah, the important Raptor ward.
Credit to, Volpez as well for refreshing that one and making sure that they had the vision to go for that play. Mid-jungle of Team Purple really stepped up this game. And, of course, the bot lane and the Manny playing extremely well also.
Yeah,
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Manny's doing a good job of keeping his team protected as well as keeping the Camille at bay.
Actually dives out on that Cho'Gath ult. He doesn't have a tower, so the extended 1v1, maybe something that's a little bit scary for the Shen. No, I'm wrong.
Jen is hurting a bit much.
Is charging into the mid lane tier 3 right now, able to take that one down very low. And
Yeah.
the trade-off is some damage on the bot lane tier 2. Hammered and Daddy Pacific once again off in the side lane for
Backing as quick as they can. Yeah, especially since
The Hexacle made a underneath tower here, but Minnie did not have aggro, so he's not really going to take much damage from that. And Noble is going to have to back here. He's very low. And Daddy Pacific
Daddy Pacific.
is getting hunted right now by this Irelia. He just burned the Event Horizon. Vagar, he's
Yeah.
furry, but he may be in trouble as there's Narcissus. He is getting attacked from 3
Costume won't
directions,
save
and
him
he has
now.
No way out. No, it will not. Goes down for the 3rd time this game. 0-6 for the Delaware Derby
Yeah.
bot lane here in game 4.
And 4-0 for the purple bot lane.
Yeah,
BONK
Rylionn
bot lane.
taking charge down here.
Yeah, the Caitlyn really pulling through that. I think if they win this game, Brown might have to consider it as a ban with how prominent it is.
Really seems to be working incredibly well.
Yeah, something in this bot lane's gotta change since it does seem to be a really big winning point.
Looks like inside of Team pretty happy securing that tier 2 in the bottom lane for now.
Yeah, lots of turret pressure. Drag coming up in a minute, so they're probably trying to get their vision prepared for that.
Yeah, will be Infernal Soul. Oh, nice.
Glacial.
Quite fine Silver Prism there,
But she still gets the flash.
Still gets the flash. Yeah, Hammer didn't have support in the area, so and he didn't have vision either, so he thought maybe there are more people collapsing right now. I just have to get out of here.
Definitely the safest option.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be dead before Dragon, but flashless is also not the best alternative.
He also doesn't want to be not at Dragon for Dragon. So resetting
Yeah.
right now is very important. Unfortunately, the jungler did not get the memo. Hey, Rich. Infernal Soul, 25 seconds. What are you doing on top side, buddy? Wrong side of the map right now, Hecarim.
Hecarim is a horsey, but I don't think he'll get there fast enough as they are reclaiming vision in the spot lane. Lots of priority. They might just have to give up this soul.
Yeah, I mean, they could give it up, but I think that might also involve giving up the game, potentially. Which is, you know, generally not a great strategy for trying to win games.
I mean, but if they do contest, it could just make it worse as well. Mosman needs some of these shutdowns in order to get it, and it does not look like they're getting here.
The Vanguard says Dragon already down to 57 HP. It looks like it's going to be secured. Jason Hole coming out now is going to get eaten up by Daddy Pacific. Dragon does
Soul.
go down. Hecarim could not get into the pit in time. And he is going to get stunned up by the flawless duet. But Irelia is going to dash straight to a Vagar cage. But the heal will keep
Still
him
gets
alive.
out alive.
Yeah, barely getting out with a sliver of health there. We have a Snake United coming down now. And there is a... Oh my gosh! Rylionn on the flank able to completely one-shot the Vagar. And now it's going to be the jungler and the AD going down as well, quickly to follow. Shed now teleporting back to the top side, wants to prevent Camille.
Just helped out with the fight, and then
Yeah.
back to the top
Just
side
like,
he goes.
"Bye,
Mosman the
guys.
only
Bye,
one
guys."
left to defend this inner turret.
Definitely
The
good
Caitlyn range,
play.
though.
Yeah, they're just able to completely demolish that Mosman. He is, hasn't been able to have the same effect on the cast he was able to find in that second game. Did not find
He just
that
needed
early
that-
advantage.
He does seem to be a very snowbally player. When he gets that early advantages, he takes advantage of it. But
So, George, how long before you think the side of Team BONK are going to be making a move towards this fair? They have full map control. They, just took the lane
They
to
do.
Emperor. They have Infernal Soul. It should be a pretty simple matter to try and
It
pressure
should.
that objective. What kind of game plan do you think we're looking at right now?
I mean, anything to push their lead ahead is what they need right now. They want to try and end off this game now that they are so far ahead. 2-13. Not a high kill game, but there's, I guess a kill per minute is pretty high. But still. But it's a kill per minute in total, I guess, yeah.
That's not quite that. It's 15 kills total during 5 minutes. So.
Oh yeah, I can do math. And they are making a move on this Baron as we speak, though.
They are. Rich knows it's happening, and he does have the ultimate and flash. Hector has flash. I just realized that. And now
Yeah.
he's done. And he used the ultimate, and he's using the flash, and he's still dead. Because
He is still dead.
Ability, and Camille could not block.
It is a very strong ability.
And now, enemy jungler is dead, which means Baron should absolutely, positively, no contest be secured by the side of Team Purple. Which will put
Yeah,
them
no
at
bullet time from the
approximately-
back end this time.
Yeah, Hammer's not even going to go for it. Nobody can get close to the pit. So, as Baron goes down here, we are looking at a 7,000? Yeah, about 7,000 for
Yeah.
Team Purple at this point. On top of the Infernal Soul there. So if you want to throw in those stats, for Matt here, call it 12,000 globally.
Oh my gosh.
As,
The Caitlyn.
Rylionn, Gale Force, auto attack, one more. There it is. Rylionn picks up number 7. 7-0 and 1 on the Caitlyn. Extremely dominant performance here at game number 6. As the Blazer person does get tossed out, but will not find the mark of this time around. Now, Team Purple, you already got mid lane inhibitor. I'd love to see you guys play on a different lane. You already got this one. Go somewhere
Well,
else.
maybe they might be pushing to end with the Baron, unless
Okay,
they
but, like,
are
even
just
if
looking
you
for the
are
Hecarim.
pushing to end, it's still better to play on a different lane because, like, if you can't
Uh-huh.
end, then you're still guaranteed to at least get another inhibitor tower. And like,
Yeah, I
if you
don't
can't
know.
end, then it doesn't matter which lane you go
I'm
to.
just trying to get their mindset, okay?
It's just bad. You just go to a different lane when you have an inhibitor down. It's not hard. As
Double kill on Rylionn. Stand United.
Does get the kill there. He doesn't get some trouble now. Getting dashed on. Double kill for the Rylionn. Here comes the Stand United now. Will Zenith looking for? Does get the flawless to wet. There's going to be another kill. Captain goes down. Rick will quickly follow. There's a triple kill for Goldplays on the Rylionn to close this one out. As a desperate attempt from Noble. Goes for the Hextech ultimatum, but it's just going to go to a Hextech graveyard as the Nexus turrets fall. Team BONK push us to game 5. We will get silver straight to the end.
2-2.
As we move forward in the playoffs in this epic battle between these team gas squads.
It's been so intense. Most damage that game? Who do you think it was?
I want to say Rylionn.
Yeah?
Let's see. Nope.
I don't know. Yeah, Rylionn.
Okay,
Really topping the damage charts there.
Rylionn did have more damage on than anybody on Delaware Derby that game, but
He did.
so did
Delaware
most of the rest of
Derby.
his teammates.
Not a lot of damage that game, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Caston topping the damage charts despite being so behind.
Yeah.
Lozman really showing that he can attack from behind, just not as good as if he was ahead. Both mid laners, very, very snowbally. Like, I think all of the games have really been dependent on, does the mid laner get the first kill?
Yeah, it has definitely been swinging these games extremely heavily. All those fights in mid lane definitely seem to be critically important in determining the outcome. I definitely agree. Take a quick look at objectives here as well. There it is. Rylionn doing a whole lot of damage to those towers.
He did have a lot of turret damage. Kept the bot lane turret down, continuing in other lanes. I don't know exactly what ones he took down, but he did have a lot of turret damage in the end there.
Definitely. He also had the most CS in the game. And the most gold.
Keeping up those numbers.
Very nice.
I mean, yeah, he did a really good job and even expanded his range with the rapid fire cannon.
Yeah, so we are only going to have one more game tonight, guys. After game 5, one of these two teams will be victorious and will move on to the next round of playoffs to face either Team Green or Team Red next week. But I think we will need just a moment here while we do get ready for that 5th and final game. But it is going to be an absolute banger. That much is guaranteed. Right, Georgia?
It will be a banger. It might not be tonight, though, as Brown is really complaining about their bedtimes being pushed. But in the end, it is entirely up to Purple to decide if they want to reschedule or not.
At this point, you just gotta finish out the series,
I
right? There's
know.
only one game left. Like, come on.
But 2 of their players are out, so plus they have to reschedule, or I don't know. It
Maybe
looks like
that's
they are.
why Hammered hasn't left bot lane for the last 2 games, because he's
He just
actually
can't
been
think
asleep.
anything else.
Like, he's actually just right-clicking a tower and then literally just falling asleep on his keyboard. So, I guess we'll go to a break, right, Georgia? So we'll give another 5 minutes for Team Brown and Team Purple to kind of discuss and try and figure out a plan here for what we're going to be doing tonight. But, yeah, in the meantime, guys, we would very much appreciate it if you didn't go anywhere, because hopefully we'll have
Hopefully there's another game
coming soon. So, we'll talk to you very soon, and either way, we will let you guys know what the plan is going to be moving forward. So, bear with us. Sorry for the uncertainty and the confusion that we've been going through all night tonight, but it's only a little bit longer, and you know, we will be concluding our action for this evening. So you won't want to miss the ending of an exciting series tonight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. we are back once again with an update for you on the current situation here in this series. And Georgia, I take it you have some information here?
So, unfortunately, there will be no Game 5. Purple is going to try and reschedule, but it's going to be really difficult to reschedule it. So it might just end up being a free win for them in the end, which really sucks considering how intense this series has been.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Unfortunately, Brown just really did not want to take it any further, and I can understand as it is getting pretty late, and it is a weekday, so it's unfortunate the series won't continue, but I will let everyone know if the game does get rescheduled or if Purple will just take the free win. So
I guess the best of 5 should probably start a little bit earlier than
yeah.
Eastern. As they, you know, do tend to last for a little bit longer. Definitely unfortunate for Delaware Derby there. They, you know, played very well tonight. It was almost that clean 3-0 sweep for them. But Rylionn subbing in, pulling his team back from the brink. Team BONK, they were hanging onto the edge of the cliff by like one finger. They were just barely hanging on
Their
there.
mental was dead.
Rylionn just dragged them back up onto the mountaintop to continue the fight. And we had made it to that climactic Game 5. But unfortunately, yeah, it seems like Delaware Derby, they were too sleepy to continue. So, yeah, could very well just end up being that forfeited match over to Team Purple. I mean, props to them for outlasting Delaware Derby then. You know, they were able to drag
it
out
was
the
a game of
series long
resilience.
enough. Yeah, they had more endurance. So they may, you know, maybe they just deserve to win. I don't know. You guys be the judge. But yeah. So Georgia, when are we gonna have some more action? I guess we're not sure if or
we are not
when,
sure yet.
when this particular match is gonna get rescheduled, and we're not really sure for next week when things are happening yet either.
No, just because both of the matchups were decided tonight. Gray did forfeit tonight as this was the last day to make their match and they were not able to come up with a team. And we just found out this matchup right now. Well, we don't know for sure if they'll reschedule or not, but as soon as the matchups do get decided, they will be posted, so everyone should stay updated and be ready for those because I'm hoping they will be just as exciting as these, since these silver teams are like the best of the best in silver, so I think they will be pretty intense matches once we get to these final few.
Fantastic. Well, we are sorry, guys, that tonight's match ended a little bit anticlimactically, but hopefully you still enjoyed the games and the cast. And, you know, it was a pleasure being here, of course, in the Team Gap League, as always. Georgia, thank you for jumping in.
Surprise cast.
As Rylionn had to sub in onto the rift there. I appreciate you joining me on the desk here.
It was an interesting night for sure.
Absolutely. We wouldn't have them any other way, right?
Exactly.
That is going to do it for us tonight, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for those updates on when the playoffs here in the Silver League will continue. But from myself, Crewman, from Georgia here, from the entire Team Gap production team, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your patience with all the delays and the technical difficulties tonight. And we will see you next time. Have a great night.
Good night.